Yeah.
You'll never find more wretched hive of scum and villainy. So cautious.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Cantina Chat, the show where we geek and talk about all things Star Wars, from the latest news to the collecting updates. Tonight we have an epic show planned for you guys with Star Wars Celebration merely weeks away. We got Hasbro, Jazwares, Medicon, and Hot Toys dropping some really incredible collectibles this past week. Plus, tonight is the last night of March of the Force. So we're going to find out who is going to be emerging victorious later tonight. And best thing about all of this is we got our good friend Paul Sun-Hyung Lee back to break this all down and talk about all these really incredible collectibles. So please get yourself a good drink, settle in, because we're about to punch it. What's going on, everybody? So we got the usual misfits with us. We got my man Frankie in the house. What's going on, dude?
What's up, buddy? Great intro, man. You flew through it.
Barely, right? Barely. Evan's in the house. What's going on, Evan?
Locked and loaded, ready to have a good time tonight.
All right. We got Ralph. What's going on, Ralph?
Blue 5 standing by, baby.
Sexy Flexy's back.
What's up? What's up? So happy to be back, man.
All right. And we got Nerd Squadron in the house. What's going on, Chris?
Not much. Happy to be here as always. I'm ready to have some fun.
All right,
Yeah.
man. And of course, we got the one and only Paul Lee in the house. What is going on, dude? How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good, despite that shitty baseball game. But everything else is like going great.
A hell of a week, man.
Yeah.
The last time we were here, we were all like vibing and saying that we need to get a Carson Teva figure. And now you're back a year later, and dude, you got a freaking figure. It's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah. Has it been a year since I've been on?
I think it has,
Yeah.
man. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
don't think
great
Avatar had come
reveal.
out yet.
Yeah. That's nuts. Because I remember a year ago, I don't know if any of you guys made it to New York. They had that March of the Empire at the Empire State Building, where they had all these all the companies that had toy licenses, and the Hasbro team was there. And I brought my friend who knew them as a guest, and he introduced me to them. And I think I scared the shit out of all of them because I was like, "Where's my figure, Hasbro? What's going on?" And I think I scared the crap out of them. They were great though. They're great, very, very patient, wonderful people. And it's one of those things where I think they're not allowed to say anything, right? It's like people asking me about Star Wars or Avatar or stuff. It's like I'm contractually obliged not to say anything. So it's a difficult position to put them in. But then I suddenly realized it's like, oh, I hope they know I'm joking when I say stuff like that, right? Like it's like 99%, okay, 90% joking type thing. But yeah, I mean, if anything, that the whole journey, 1,600 days from when my character made his first appearance to the announcement that I was gonna, his character, the character was gonna be released on TVC, 1,600 days. What a weird coincidence, man.
Yeah.
So
we were super excited for you, man. We saw it live. George was watching it. I was watching it. We were like, oh my gosh, it's going to happen,
I yelled that at work, actually. And everybody looked at me and they were like, what are you talking about? Who's Carson Teva? I'm like, that was really cool, man. I actually have a clip of that. We can play that a little bit later of your reaction to the whole thing.
Cool.
That was great. But before we get in that, let's say what's up to everybody in the chat, because it's probably going to be a long one today, going through everybody. So let's do that.
45 people.
Yep. So it's going to be long. Want to make sure I don't owe anybody lunch. Lewis Jimenez is in the house. What's going on, man?
Ooh,
Congratulations, Paul Lee, on the Carson Teva figure. That's what's up.
Oh,
Thank you.
26. Yep.
Yeah, hopefully.
I agree.
We got daughter of Darthmir's in the house. Diana, how you doing?
Double
So,
D.
Got Brandon H is in the house. What's going on?
brother.
Paul, you may recognize one of the names here when it comes up.
Okay.
Rob Zombie's in the house. What's going on, dude?
What's up, Z?
What's up, Rob?
Got Len. How you doing?
Land.
What's up, Lynn?
Says congratulations, Paul. That must be quite a cool feeling seeing yourself as an action figure.
Pretty cool.
You got Kenny in the house. What's up, Pats fan?
There you go. Pat's fan for life.
Pants fan. Sorry.
Yeah,
On the live show, I misread it. It was like Pants fan, which was awesome. I was like, oh, Pat's fan for life, 69. And I just, when you misread something and it just sticks in your head, it's like, it's Pants fan. He's a fan of pants.
I was watching your stream and that cracked me up when that came across. Because he's on here every night for us. So it was pretty
right
funny.
You got Alexandro in the house. What's going on, dude? That's my twin.
What's up, Al?
Yep. Double.
Chris pulling double duty.
I hate that guy so much.
I heard he's going to Japan.
Yeah, right. Only one of us that's going to Japan. Jeez. Xena is in the house. What's going on, Xena?
Xena.
The biggest lightsaber collection
She does.
on Earth.
Huge. Big congrats, Paul, on your Hasbro action figure.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Darth Shizzle's in the house. What's up, bro?
What's up?
Manizzo.
Changes.
Yeah. Anakin Skywalker is in the house. Oh boy. Hide the kids.
Nacho Paul.
We got Dwayne Otley's in the house. Huh?
The I-9s. The wait, what is that?
I don't know.
I think it was just a fat finger.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Prime
Prime
time
time.
reviews. What's going on?
he ordered
It's
4.
prime time.
4 of them. I got my figure.
I got mine.
Yep.
Secured.
All right. We already said hi to Rob. We got Eben pulling double duty.
What up?
Sexy Flex is pulling double duty. We got Collecting Cool in the house. Collecting with Cool.
What's up, bro?
Brett?
Nice.
What up, Brett? All right. Looks like he gifted some memberships. Thank you.
Nice.
There you go. Hit the right button this time.
There you go.
Getting better at that. Still don't have a label on it though.
You are. You almost not looked.
Yeah, I know. Almost did. I was practicing before the show is what happened. Bryant's in the house. What's going on, man? Greenies from London. What's going on, dude?
Nice.
Got Garwing Chung. What's going on?
Hey.
What's up?
Welcome.
Miles. What's up, dude?
What's up, Kaz?
What's up, dude?
All right. We got Telperion. Am I trying to say
That was close enough.
Yeah.
Cool, dude.
I'll allow it.
All right. Got Jason Nemiroff in the house. What's going on?
What's up, Jason?
Hey, Jay.
What up?
Cole Cohen 808.
Man, Scotland.
Scott.
Wow.
Wow.
Yaoi beauties.
We are covering the world today.
Yes,
He's
we are,
awake.
right? Yeah. That's awesome, man. Got Graham Oliver.
What's up,
Graham?
Graham?
What's up, Graham?
Past my say,
Obi-Wan there.
stepped out for a smoke and damn, hello everyone.
Started 3 minutes early. Sorry.
OBP's in the house. What's going on, dude?
What's up, bud?
BP. What's up, brother?
All right. Snoke Dogg. What's going on,
What's up,
Santino?
Snoke Dogg?
Doggy dog.
Black Series Galaxy Collector. What's going on, dude?
What's up?
Looks like that one guy from that one show.
I get that a lot. You're that guy in that show. I am.
It's like cool.
I would
Justin
have said
Jacobs in the
no.
house.
What's up?
The Dad Vader's here. What's going on, dude?
There he is.
Nice.
Got the robe on.
Magic Mike.
Aurelis Delgado. What's going on, man?
Good job,
Good
dude.
boy.
You even threw a little Spanish on the end of that.
Yeah, I had to give it a little
I
accent,
like
you know?
it. That's nice.
Mars in the house. What's going on?
Mar.
Mar.
We got Rolando, the Utah.
Rolando.
I'm gonna go with Utah on that, not
Yeah,
Utah.
me too. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yolanda is the
Man,
hardest
it's got
to
you,
moderate
man.
on YouTube.
New way to pronounce it.
St. Arkansas.
Right?
Man,
Arkansas.
only took 2 hits before the show.
Right? Shit. Should have took 3. Got Ralph pulling double duty.
Boom.
Want to make sure I don't miss Paul this time because I missed him last time if he was in the chat. We got Jason's in the house. What's going on, dude?
What's
What's
up?
up?
Ooh, bad.
You back.
So Paul, so a while back I got one of those Hasbro figures that they scan, you have to scan yourself with the phone and
Okay.
and mine came back looking Indian. So, it did not look like me at all.
Not Native American either.
No, I was gonna say
They changed its
feather or
name
dot.
to Patel. The Patelorian.
That's why I always think those things, as fun as they seem, I'm always very wary about that because
Oh, yeah.
if you don't have a standardized sort of program to do, I mean, when they do body scans of us and our faces, they have like literally hundreds of cameras. Like you step into this booth and it's ringed and it's got like rows and rows and rows of cameras all around you and ringed around, and it is so precise. And they all go off at once, right? So it's like whenever you have an app that's based on your phone, do you have an Android phone? Do you have an Apple? Do you have like whatever? What kind of camera is it? It's always very sort of, touch and go with the software. So I'm always just a little bit wary of that. And, sometimes the quality, sometimes people have hard faces to map.
Yeah, mine apparently did.
I mean, it wasn't a total loss. We got a good chuckle out of it.
Well, there you
I
go.
know. Everybody did.
That's content right there.
I think he even had to ask for his money back. It was that bad.
Oh, wow.
I did.
Oh, yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad.
I was an expensive figure for it, man. It didn't look like me. So.
Hello, my name is the Mandalorian. The Medinalorian.
I look pretty good with the helmet on, though. I mean,
They all do.
Right.
Eric MCC's in the house. What's going on?
What's up? Eric?
Eric. What's up, Eric?
We got Sigmazero 5.
Sigma 05.
Sigma 05.
There we go.
From the Canary
Thank you.
Islands. Welcome.
Wow.
Ooh, out in the
Man, Canary Islands. Damn, we are really going all around the
Yeah,
world.
dude.
I
We're
like
on-
it.
Look at the next one.
You get a little
No
mad.
reviews from Essex. What's going on?
Wow.
What's up,
Essex,
dude?
England. I've been there.
Nice.
We got Daniel Perez. What's up?
Hey.
Daniel.
Hey.
Go Dodgers.
Right. We got. Hey, there we go.
There he is.
There he is. We found him.
Daniel Perez
Again.
again. And we got General Kenobi's in the house. What's going on, bro?
What's up, buddy?
Brother.
Hand it out.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Nobody
I'm
said
not
Alexa.
either.
Nobody said anything.
And I think I'm all caught up. Oh, we got Star Geeks in the house. What's
There
going
he
on,
is.
Sean?
Sean.
How you doing, man?
Coming in.
What's up, Sean?
Coming in.
Last night I was on Star Geek Show and we were talking about the final 2 episodes of the Andor TV show. They were recapping it. Really good episode to watch, man. Those guys know their shit, man. Ed especially that dude prepares for a show.
Yeah. For real.
The one ball guy, I forget his name. Is it Ed?
Yeah,
Ed.
He's really good.
man.
Yes,
he
he
is,
is.
man.
He was until yesterday. Want to revamp the OG.
Oh yeah, he did bring that up. He said that with the seriousness of Andor and the way it was presented, would you guys want to see the original trilogy made in that level of seriousness, the way that show's done? And I was like, no.
Even as is.
I like it
Leave
as
alone.
It's made by the maker.
I mean, it is what it is, and that's
Right.
that's what made us all fall in love with it. There's no need to change it or to
Yep.
revamp it or
Yep.
there's no. I don't see the point in it. If you want more stories like that, create new content like that, right? Like
Yeah.
I don't want to watch the same stories just told differently. I mean, that's kind of at the end of the day, if you subscribe to that whole idea of there are only really 7 stories in the world and we're just telling different iterations of it and blah blah blah. Fine, but I mean, the reason why remakes are so popular is because they make money, right?
Mhm.
And that's the thing. Like somebody had an article. No, I saw it was somebody just railing about how everybody's complaining that all the movies are remakes or reboots or this or that, and then there were 3 like original movies that came out completely off the beaten path, and they all tanked in the box office. Like no one went to see them, and like Captain America beat them all in one day, right? Like one day of Captain America beat all of their weekend totals. So it's one of those things where I think it's the dearth of storytelling, because we just keep chewing on the same bit of meat over and over and over again, and just after a while it becomes flavorless, right? So why bother?
Absolutely.
I agree.
Dude, that was
I
like
agree
the
with
best way to put it.
Yes, he did.
The more I think about it, I'm like, that's spot on.
Definitely. So, Paul, man, how does it feel to have an action figure made of yourself? And did you know that was happening, or was it just a surprise at that moment?
No, it was great. I'd been approached by the wonderful team at Hasbro. It's actually Steve Evans, who's now the senior manager for Marvel and for the Star Wars lines. Reached out to me via Messenger on Instagram. We follow each other on there, and said, "Hey, like, do you mind? Like, we've got something in the works, and we'd love you to be involved in it." And so that's kind of started that whole journey. And that was last year, like I think November, December or something.
Mhm.
And so, they obviously, I think it takes like 14 months for them to design, retool, to tool things up and get stuff into production. So, it was a while in the making. And when they were ready and they had prototypes and they wanted to announce it, they wanted me to be involved in it. So
Wow.
that was amazing. And so, yeah, for the last few months, we just kind of been going back and forth and trying to find a time where I was available to sort of help them out with that. And yeah, they couriered out the prototype for me to sort of do, and then we pre-recorded that segment, and yeah, they aired it, and it's
That's
fantastic,
awesome.
man.
Did everybody get a chance to see this live? Because I got his reaction. Here. You guys want to
I
see it?
did. That was great. Go ahead.
All right, let's play that. Let's play that back.
And the real.
What is it? Another Mandalorian? Because like I kind of got all the fleet commanders that I want, and I just sort of put it aside on a pile of tears, is what I call
This
it.
one's going to be worth your time.
Is this for real?
Yeah.
You guys aren't pranking me, are you?
No way.
You did it!
We
did
did.
Oh my god! I'm gonna cry.
Tava is coming to the vintage collection. We're so excited to share this with you.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing! Look at him!
I feel like crying for you.
Yeah.
I know.
That's awesome.
That gave me goosebumps seeing your reaction. It was the
Yeah,
most genuine
thank you.
reaction ever, and it literally gave me goosebumps. I'm sitting there.
Thanks. I got it before, and I had to fight the urge to look at it. So because I wanted an honest reaction on seeing it, and so
Yeah.
like it was wrapped in bubble wrap and stuff. So I took it out of the box, but I kept it wrapped because I didn't want to, because it was a pre-record as well. I wanted an actual like first impression on it, and yeah, I was overjoyed. Like it's such a cool little figure, 3.75 legacy sort of size, heritage size, whatever you want to call it. And it was just like, it's a great sculpt, and 100% new parts. Like they didn't reuse any old parts, retooled completely for that character. The detail on it too, because they have the leather jacket, they get the little patches, the face sculpt is great. Like if you look at it, you could almost confuse it if you didn't know what the scale was. You could go, is that a Black Series? Because that's how good it is.
It's detailed, very detailed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and the articulation on it's tight, which is great. I'm blown away. I'm blown away by it. So
That is awesome. I love the interaction between you and them, and you're like, yeah, from the attorneys of me, myself, and I, you've received all our letters, and you were like really pounding, like, hey man, I'm thank you for all the other figures, but it was great. It was great, and we've been rooting for you. We've been saying it on other shows, so it's awesome to see that happen for you.
The build up the last couple of weeks has been good too. You guys, because you've been going back and forth with the guy from Hasbro, and that was hilarious. I was watching that whole thing, that interaction.
Yeah, and that was all Steve's idea. Again, Mr. Stevie 18 is Steve Evans, and he said he reached out to and he said, "Hey, do you mind? You know, what would be a great idea is if you reach out and you comment on my TVC stuff, and I pretend I don't know you, and we could start this thing back and forth. If you're cool with it." I said, "Yeah, 100%. Let's have some fun. Like I've been chirping Hasbro for like 1,600 days. I can surely I can take some of it back, right?" And so it began, and it was weird because at first I didn't know like how far do we take this? Is it sort of like a really friendly ribbing, or if it's just do the gloves come off? Like what level of antagonism is going on? And Steve, he is so smart and so funny, and his reels and the videos that he posted in the comments were just brutal. I mean, they were great. He took the piss out of me like there was no tomorrow. And it was fun. Like I had a ton of fun for that. I have a ton of respect for him for doing that. And every step of the way, he was like, "Are you checking in? Like, you okay with this? Is this too much? Is it cool?" I'm like, "Bring it on. Let's have some more fun with it." Because it's entertaining, right? Yeah. It's like people are like, "Are they really beefy?" I had a friend of mine who was like, "He's getting like really personal. Are you like, is he like super mad at you?" Like, "I don't know, man. Like, maybe too far. Like 5 years of me going, 'Where's my figure, Hasbro?' And the guy finally snapped. Like, I don't know." Right. So that was great. That was really good.
Hey, Paul, how did that experience compare to when Gentle Giant revealed your bust?
Oh man, so that was the thing, because it was a couple of years at this point of me going, "Where's my figure, Hasbro? Where's my figure?" And then Gentle Giant reached out and said, "We got a 1/6 scale bust of you. We want you to, we want to send you a copy of it and this and that." I was like, "No way." And I love that. That's a great sculpt too.
Yeah.
Like 1/6 scale.
Yeah.
I'm like, Gentle Giant for me with their busts, it can be a hard hit or a clean miss. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like there's some where it's like you kind of go, oh,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, the solo on Andor.
Yeah, so you're like, I don't know. I don't think I'll be picking that one up.
Yeah.
But when they hit like that one was spectacular.
Yeah.
The A280 blaster, they have them there. The proportions are great, and it's like that's me in 1/6 scale, right? Yeah. And it's beautiful, and it's got a nice base. And I was like, the only thing was like, I ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dan, I need my legs, type thing. But I mean, that's a small quibble, but I loved it, and for the longest time, that was the only thing out there.
Yeah,
and fans bought it. Like that's the wonderful thing too. People buy it, and then they'll bring it to. I signed so many at cons. I had a few that I had for giveaway prizes. I gave one to my folks, and they loved it.
Nice.
So it's really cool whenever you get something, anything sort of created in your likeness, and it's great. It's like, oh my god, it's because it can turn out to be really bad, like that statue of like Lionel Messi. That they had the bronze statue where it's like, who did that, right?
And then the Dwayne Wade, yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, like it's done out of respect and love, but it's just like, oh, that's a bad sculpt.
Yeah,
it's awful.
Yeah.
Right? So it really is quite, and especially when you're a collector as well, right? How much stuff do we collect because it looks really cool, or we have a connection to the character or to the show or whatever, and it speaks to us, and then you see something and then it's you. Like imagine that going, oh my gosh. And then you hear people kind of going, I pre-ordered 4 of these Carson Taffa figures. I've got in Canada, somebody sent me this post. It was the #1 bestseller in Amazon Canada, that figure.
Wow.
Oh, that's so awesome. It's like, yeah, because like there's also that fear of, is this gonna be a peg warmer? The peg warmer of the century, perhaps. You see that in the comments, like, yeah, that's a hard pass for me. Definitely peg warmer of the year. Like, fuck you, man. Who the fuck are you? You're a peg warmer, you fucking dick. And so for me, it's just like that inner monologue, right? But it's one of those things where you kind of go, the people are gonna hate it. They don't like me. Hate thing, right? Like you can't help but think about that sometimes. But I'm really happy. I'm just really happy that people I've been waiting for it, and that it's not like everybody's demanding it. It comes out and nobody buys it, right? I'm very, very pleased about that. So
Nice. Hey, Flex, you have that Gentle Giant, don't you?
Yeah, I have it. Yeah.
Did you get an autograph from Paul?
I did in Richmond, Virginia, 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Nice.
That's right.
I thought you were gonna show him the picture you took.
Oh boy.
Yeah, all right.
Not the picture I sent you, Flex.
So that one.
No, not that one.
He's like, yeah.
Now get the shirt.
Yeah, he made a custom shirt for that one.
Nice. Oh yeah. Okay.
That's awesome.
Nice.
That's awesome, dude.
That's awesome, man. So now what we need is the X-wing to go along with that figure, man.
Hey, you know, there's always something more, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Which is great. There's always something more.
So
Where's
what
my
do we
figure?
as fans need to do for a Hot Toys? How do we help you get a Hot Toys?
For me, man, that seems so otherworldly too. Like it was just how much did it take to get just a TVC figure, right?
Yeah.
No Black Series yet. And fingers crossed for that. I mean, I think if this size sells really, really well, that they've got it tooled. It's a brand new figure. Get your money's worth out of it, right? And then so I don't know, Hot Toys, that's they're based out of China. I have no idea how they make their decisions. None whatsoever. It would be nice, but I think there's a number of different figures that sort of are ahead of me in the queue for that. But hey, it doesn't hurt to just sort of do what we've been doing already, which is saying, hey, how come there isn't a 1/6 scale version of them? Why isn't there a Black Series version of them?
Yeah, Black Series is next, I think.
Yeah, we got a great look. He's got the jacket. Why don't we have just the pilot version of him? Let's just have the clean pilot. And he's got another look too. He's got his full dress uniform when they were in front of Mount Mothma in Ahsoka. Where's that look?
Yeah.
And there's another look in season 3 Mandalorian when he goes back to Coruscant and he asked Colonel Tuttle about to intercede on Navarro. Where's that look? So there's 4 different looks and they've got the body. So
Chris, you can get that started, dude.
Well, I was about to say I'm gonna be at Celebration, and all 3 days I'm gonna bother them. I might get kicked out, and then I'm gonna freaking turn on my Cricut and say what I'm just printing on my shirt. We went on Carson 1/6 scale, and
there you go.
Every single day.
Nice.
And then I'm gonna give them a shirt.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
Wear it.
Wear it now. Put it on.
I think a lot of people across social media, everybody's been very happy for you. And I don't know if you understand it, that us as fans, it's very exciting for you to see you getting something like this because you come off as a fan of the franchise and you actually got to be in it. So you're right there with Sam Witwer, Dave Filoni. That's how we see you.
Yeah.
And so we're very excited for you. So
that's amazing company to be in. Dave's an amazing storyteller, great human being, supreme nerd. Sam, I got a lovely chance to meet him in not in Richmond, Virginia. Was it Richmond? Yeah, not Raleigh. It was in Richmond. And man, he's a nerd's nerd. He is on par with Filoni in terms of that. Super, he knows everything back and forth, and it was just he's just as cool in real life as he is I've seen clips of him tons of times, and him going on. He's very passionate and he's very knowledgeable, but he doesn't lord it over people. He's not one of those actually sort of gatekeepy guys. He's just a guy that loves it so much he gets so excited talking about it, and he's very passionate. And so you can have the coolest conversations with him about anything Star Wars, but not just Star Wars, about anything else too. Yeah. He's an amazing dude to just sort of hang with and just shoot the shit about. And that's the thing. So to put me in the company with those guys is humbling. That's the word that comes to mind, is very, very humbling, because like you said, I'm a fan, and I had to work really hard to be a successful actor. But to get an opportunity to play in Star Wars is a dream come true. And if I'm that gateway for other fans to live vicariously through me to experience the same thing, I'm all for that too. And that's why I love I love chatting with fans about the experience, telling stories, the ones that I can tell, and just sort of relating so that, you know, people get that experience and they feel that joy. Because every time I'm on set, I get a chance to be on set, or I'm on set and I see myself on the screen. It doesn't feel real, to be honest. It just feels so surreal. And now this action figure is crazy. It's crazy.
It's only the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I see it.
Real. That's right. Hey, so I was watching, because we brought up Dave Filoni. I was watching the Katie Sackhoff show the other day, and she was interviewing Ron Moore. And she exactly just says, you know, that she was at a party and she went for a tour inside of Lucasfilm archives, or the not archives, but the
ranch,
the ranch,
Skywalker Ranch.
Yeah, and she says, "Oh, it was just me and Paul Sun-Hyung Lee, and we were in there, and you know, we went to go see everything." And I was just like, "Hey, wait a minute,
Yeah,
how was that?"
That was, oh my god. So it was Filoni's 50th birthday. And I got invited to go out. I'm like, oh my god,
hell yeah,
I got invited. So it was awesome. It was at Skywalker Ranch. I'm like, oh my god. So immediately, that's a hard yes. And I had something else to do in Banff, Alberta, and I was like, I can make it work. And so it was just like crazy sort of scheduling to get it done. But then I was at this party, and it was just like so many people, and it was like, I don't know a lot of people, and they're all great storytellers and directors and writers and people who work at ILM, and people who worked with Dave on like the animated series Avatar: The Last Airbender, because he was a director on season 1 of that.
Yep.
And so like it was just this mix of eclectic people, and I like, much like Katie, this is why I love Katie. She's got no pretenses. She's a lovely human being, and but she gets overwhelmed too, right? And like with these big crowds, you're kind of like, oh, and she, you know, I turn into a bit of a wallflower. I just sort of back up a bit and just sort of observe quietly, like sort of drink. And Katie sort of, what she does is she'll find somebody and sort of tag along with them, and I do that as well, right? And so we were there, and Jon Favreau, amazing guy, he was like, well, have you guys had a tour of the ranch house, like the actual house itself? Because there's different buildings on Skywalker Ranch, and we were in the technical building, and so I headed to the main house. Well, and so he got us a tour during this party to go to the main house and take a look around. He was there, so it was with Favreau, Katie, myself, and John's wife and his son, and so we all walked up to the main house, and we got a private tour, and
so you got to see the library.
Being able to sort of, you know, they opened the curtain, you know, that sketch that they had, Robot Chicken with Seth Green, and you know, George Lucas grabs a guy because he's talking about Mara Jade, and just get him out of here. You know, they throw him out of that room. Like we saw that conference room, and we saw the artwork on the wall, because George Lucas he's like into architecture and art, and to see all the different things that are up on the wall, because yes, of course, there's some Star Wars stuff, but there's stuff up on the wall like Norman Rockwell prints, and like not of like originals, but not of the one that's widely distributed. Like he had, because Rockwell apparently did different iterations, like different versions of this. Like there was one called The Substitute Teacher, I think, and the version that's out there that everybody knows is different from the one that was hanging on the wall, because this version had an apple on it, or like there's a subtle change to it as he was working through. And of course, George Lucas has like one of those prototypes hanging up on his wall. He had the badges for the Keystone Cops, Charlie Chaplin's hat and cane, stuff like that. And things that you don't really expect, but of course you should expect, because he loves film history and all of what that entails, right? And then the library, which is just like, oh my god, this is something that is, you know, and then to go into the actual recording rooms, they have a theater downstairs. It's just, wow, it's like being in Wonderland, and you're looking, and you know, it's like, oh my gosh. And that's the thing with Favreau as well. Every time, and I told him this, I said, every time we hang out, I see the coolest shit. Like, you show me the coolest stuff. You know, the first time I hung out with him, he was like, "Yeah, come on, I'll show you something." It was like my first day in LA, and I was gonna start My first day of work was the next day, and I'd just gotten off the plane, got wished off, got my wardrobe fitting done, cried during that, did this other thing, cried during that. And then it's like, oh, JF wants to see you. I'm like, who the hell is JF? Oh, Jon Favreau. And so like to go onto the set to meet him and say, here, let me show you something. And he shows me, because they were shooting season 2 and season 1 hadn't even aired. And I'm there and he's showing me all the different sets that they're going to be using. And I see they have the cantina in Mos Eisley. I'm like, oh my God, I know this place. And he's showing me all this stuff. And I'm like dying. And he's like, well, I wanted to show you this because people, like if you're a fan of the show, the series, you get overwhelmed. And we don't want it to be that overwhelming. So you get a chance to look at this, breathe a bit. And so that tomorrow when you come in, you're not as overwhelmed. I was like, oh, that's so smart. Super.
Wow.
And then at the end of that, he goes, do you have a coin? Did you get one of these? I'm like, what? And the only reason I'm telling this is because I see it right here. He hands me, he pulls out his wallet and he goes, oh, here, let me give this to you. And it's a challenge coin. And it's,
let me embiggen you, as you said.
Oh, that's cool. I'm going to do this instead.
Oh, wow. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Camera 2.
I'm going to zoom in.
Wow.
So like he gives me this coin.
That is dope.
And I'm like, what is that? And I have to translate that. And this is the way. The Mandalorian, this is the way. And I'm like, what?
That is cool.
What the what? And I was like, what does this mean? I didn't know what this is the way, what it meant, because of course, season 1 hadn't aired yet. So, it's when you get something like that. And here's a funny story. So there's 2 of these actually. I got 2 because I thought I'd lost one. This is the original one that John gave me. And I thought I'd lost it. And there's subtle differences between the 2.
Yeah.
And then I asked, I say, hey, look, I lost one. Can you give me another one, please? And so this is the second casting, I guess. I like the first one because it's just a little bit more simple, a little bit dirtier, kind of like the Mando armor type thing. Like this is the OG and this is like the shiny new Beskar one.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. And then so then I get this, and I notice immediately right away, it's like, oh, this is different. It feels different. It feels a bit more rounded or whatever, because this one's very tight, you can see how sharp, like how smooth, how flat that edge is.
Yeah.
And this one just looks a bit more rounded, right? So it was like, oh, and then I found this one in my cosplays. I was dressed as an Imperial. I'm a member of the 501st. And I was dressed as an Imperial officer, and they carry challenge coins around. And if you don't have one on you, when somebody pulls one out, that's what a challenge coin is. Somebody pulls one out, and if you don't have one to answer the challenge, you owe everybody a drink.
Yep.
So I was like, I'm making sure, and then I've got the best challenge coin to sort of go. And then I promptly forgot that I had it in my pocket.
Wow.
So that's where it was. And in fact, I thought I'd lost it for over a year, which shows you how often I wear that, that cosplay. But there's that, right? So,
Paul, on the original coin, was there writing on the sides?
Oh yeah.
On the
a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. And in the other one, it says the same thing too.
Okay.
But this, the original stamping just looks sharper to me. It
does look nice.
Boom. So
you have a weathered one and unweathered one.
Yeah.
But that's super cool, man.
Yeah.
That had a big heck of an experience.
Yeah. And so then, we're getting this tour with Jon Favreau and his family and Katie Sackhoff. Where am I? What am I doing? Right? That's crazy. And then we get back to the main house and it's like, oh my God. And then, Dave's there and this wonderful, his wife, Anne, is amazing. And they have this great cake. And I'm like, oh, by myself again. I'm just sort of like, and then Fabs comes over and he says, have you seen the theater in the basement? It's like, no. It's like, come on. It's so cool. It takes me to the technical building. There's like a 400-seat movie theater in the basement. So he's like, follow me. I'm like, oh my God.
I think that's where they screened the Phantom Menace or something.
Yeah, man. It's state of the art. Like you look at it and you go, this is not like a private sort of screening room where you have like maybe 30 seats or whatever. This is like a full ass theater, and it's decked out with the top, highest end sound and projection systems.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, wow.
THX.
Those are goals, man. Goals.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
That's insane. Shoot. That's every nerd's dream right there, man. Every Star Wars nerd's dream.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. It's just like, it just seems so surreal to be there. Because it's like I'm just a guy. I'm an actor from Canada. You know, I'm not used to rubbing shoulders with Lucasfilm people that superstars like Katie, right? It's just like this schmo who just kind of showed up, did a good enough job to sort of do his thing and get asked back. But I feel like, Peter Sellers in the party, just like invited by accident, right? or being there. It's this like Chauncey Gardner. He's just the gardener, but everybody thinks he's, like that. It's heady stuff, man. And that's why every moment I feel so grateful, so happy to be there. Cause it's just like, ask somebody to keep reliving their dream or to build on it. Man,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That is so cool, man. I'm very happy for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So awesome. All right. We're going to talk about some Micro Galaxy Squadrons here in just a little bit, but we planned a little bit of a game, since you were going to be on the show. I don't know if you watched any of the more recent episodes, but we had the March of the Force, and we're going to have that final round at the end of the show. But we did a special one for you called Wing Commander. And so we're going to bring it up. Just give me 1 second here. And then we'll play along here. So let me show you.
Oh, let me get the.
Oh, I didn't get everybody in there. Damn it. Let me see.
Get that timer ready.
Yeah. Got to add everybody to stage. I forgot that about the StreamYard. Okay, I think everybody's in, right? Or did I miss Evan?
Eben.
Oh, Evan. Boom. There's Evan. All right. So just like with March of the Force, this is a bracket game since we're in March, just like March Madness. And then, but this one's going to be all about the pilots. So there you are right there, represented. And who makes it out, man? So we got
that's crazy.
These are some
This
hard
bracket
hitting
is
pilots
nuts.
Put him in the hardest bracket.
too. Yeah.
What the hell? What's on the other side? Who do you got there?
Oh,
Come on. They're all dead. Except for Wedge. Every other guy, Zen's dead. Biggs is dead. Arvel's dead. They're all dead.
They're all dead.
You go on the other side, it's like Antok Merrick is dead.
It was a
Yeah.
programmed simulator. That's what it is.
Right?
It's a program simulator.
Program simulator. Come on.
It's like, was it like NCAA basketball or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pick
Exactly.
your gun team.
You got a bunch of number one seeds up there, so there's going to be an upset somewhere.
The problem was we were going to get more pilots, but we're like, man, this is going to take a little bit too long for the show. So we kind of just dwindled it out to the top guys.
True. And shout out to Ralph for getting all the names together.
You got it.
Yeah, it was cool.
It's because they don't sleep.
He doesn't.
Because what?
He
Because you
doesn't.
don't sleep.
I
dude.
don't sleep. I don't sleep. I'm up until 4
It's a
sometimes.
damn vampire.
Yeah,
Oh, what was that?
that wasn't me.
That was his teeth coming out.
All right, let me get the poll started here, and then we get this show going. So let's see.
Who's first up there?
I don't know why this always takes me a little bit longer, especially with these glasses on. It's harder to see from a distance.
Mm. Hey, listen, we're all getting old.
I'm trying to stay
Kaz,
young.
you know why.
All right, so first one's going to be Antok Merrick versus Poe Dameron.
Now, this is who's your favorite, or who would beat who?
I mean,
who would beat? It's not
Yeah.
supposed to be a popularity contest.
Okay, not popular.
Invariably, that's what it turns into.
That's
Yes.
what it is.
Right? I mean, at the end of the day, it's all skewed.
Yeah,
It's like,
kind of.
oh, he's a better pilot. Is he? But I liked him in this. Yeah, but he's dead. Yeah, but
Zev's dead, baby. Zev's dead.
All right, let's get this going. First poll is up.
All right, timer is started.
You got 1 minute to vote, people.
There you go.
1 minute.
I'm already stressed out.
1 minute to vote.
Let's go, blue leader.
Oh
Everybody
man,
making sure.
what the heck?
21 votes in, and there are plenty of people on the show that can vote.
Whoa, 74. I think that's a record for us.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. Make sure you go to the comment section on YouTube, and you should see the actual poll pop up.
Yes, sir. And Paul Dameron's taking the lead right now.
For real.
What? Oh,
Yeah, he is.
I call it.
I'm a little shocked.
I am
Well,
shocked too. He's a great
look at it,
pilot.
though.
Paul's a good
See,
pilot, though, man.
But he's a main character in the trilogy.
Yeah.
Everybody else isn't a main character. And there's the bias right there. So we automatically see way more of Poe Dameron's flying abilities, right? Because he's got plot armor and he's there. Antok Merrick, you see his flying abilities in the Battle of Scarif at the very end. He does well, but then he
Nice.
dies, right?
Yeah.
Same thing. Everybody else, they're all not mains. And so like it's kind of you look at that and go,
See, he's
Is it
right. That's
skewed?
one I should have picked differently.
Right.
I did give a few names other than this, just a
right.
few extras, but that's why we took out Skywalker and a few others. We're like, okay, that's no fair. We got to chuck these guys.
Yeah.
That's it, George.
That's it.
That's it.
All right, Paul won. Yeah, but in argument to Antok, he did make it through that shield pretty wildly, man. That was pretty good the way he got into Scarif, and he held his own. I mean, unfortunately, it is what
Still
happened.
dead though.
No,
Yeah.
he's dead.
Still dead.
he is dead.
He died
Yeah.
a hero's death.
He did.
He
Still
did.
dead.
Oh,
Zeb is dead.
Okay. This should be a little more even.
Let's see.
All right.
We got Paul going against his boss.
Yep.
Yep.
But no, here's the thing. I'm actually his boss.
You're higher
That's
rank.
right.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
I'm
Yes,
supposed
sir.
to be.
You are
I'm higher
correct.
ranked than
You are
Trapper
correct.
Wolf. I am a captain, but it's funny because in the later on episodes, you see the ranking thing, and suddenly he's a general. It's like
Did he give himself that? I mean,
I think that happened because they're like, oh, well, it's Dave. He's the guy. We got to give him a higher rank. But when we started off, he was a lieutenant. So
Oh.
that's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
Did that ever come up between you guys? Did you ever bring that up to him?
Oh no,
No.
I'm not gonna say that.
Someone probably realized, like, wait a minute, we need a lieutenant. We got to promote him quick before we get fired.
Well, you gave the side eye for sure. You're just like,
No, I'm like, no, it's fine, fine. It's
All right, here we go. Round 2. Carson Teva against Trapper Wolf.
okay. Hit it,
And
people.
go.
That should be a landslide on this one.
It better be a landslide. Like,
Not the show will be
Suddenly
over
I
real
have,
fast.
I have
like, hey, listen, if
Is
this isn't
anybody-
a
we got somebody
landslide,
brave enough. We got somebody brave enough.
suddenly I have technical difficulties. Oh, did he win? I'm sorry. I can't hear you guys.
Yeah.
Maybe if I leave the stream. Taking my ball and going home.
yeah, maybe some Trekkies made it into the show comment section.
you just start cut.
Yeah.
I can't. Hey, pulling a Poe Dameron now. All right, how many minutes there?
Got 18 seconds left.
All right,
All right.
18 seconds with 33 votes. Anybody else? Almost there. Still the same.
Yeah.
5.
Suck it, Trapper.
4. That's time.
All right, man.
Time. There you go.
Carson Teva wins, man. All right.
All right.
He even threw the proton torpedoes at him too.
That's right.
All right. You got another probably landslide on this one.
We got some dead
Oh,
guys
yeah.
over here, like we've been told.
When
Yeah.
you first sent me the name, I was like, man, who is that guy? And then I looked up, I was like, oh, yeah, this guy. So- All right, round 3. Wedge Antilles against Zev Seneska.
This should be a sweep.
Yeah.
If
Should
it's
be.
not, it's on par with Ichiro not getting all the votes as an MVP.
Let's see.
All right, poll is starting now.
All right. Let's see. 12 votes.
Yeah, that's going about.
Oh, yeah,
how I
yeah.
expect it.
It's got
26
to.
votes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Right.
how is it not unanimous that
Yeah.
Frodo gets into the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Right? There's one person, and then everybody's out for blood. Who
It's
didn't
that
vote?
one guy.
Yeah, like my vote. Oh my God, somebody did.
Santino probably voted for him. So,
Yeah.
I would second that guess.
he's like, I'm gonna go against everybody else.
Go against the grain.
97% Wedge Antilles.
Yeah. 34 votes in. So we got an extra vote. We got 78 people. You guys can vote.
My God, my wife's trying to make it hot in here. Fuck, it's cold.
Oh, look at that.
Dude,
90
Vegas is
Oh.
already
now.
hot here, dude.
Yeah.
It's almost 90 degrees here.
2,
Already?
1, time.
All right.
36 votes.
Got Wedge. Moving
Nice.
on.
As we anticipated.
Yep.
As we
All right. Next up, we got Biggs versus Arvel.
Green round 3.
Green leader.
Yeah, green leader. If you guys didn't know, Arvel's the one that played the long game and took out the biggest ship in the Battle of Andor.
There you go.
Yeah, he did.
He took down the Super Star Destroyer kamikaze style. Yeah. Took one for the
He's-
team. If I'm going down, you're all going down with me.
All right, these names are too long, so I'm just gonna put the first
I
name.
wonder, what's his kill count against Choppers? Because I know Chopper has a big kill count.
Oh, he's got like 10,000.
Yeah.
But the Executor,
But the
Yeah,
and that's
executor,
a super
Executor.
Star Destroyer, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that
does
is.
he get any credit for going into the star and whoever he took out on the Death Star?
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Because the
Right?
Executor didn't hit the Death Star. So
Yeah. So
kill count got to be
gotta be
down
up
there.
there.
It's got to be much higher.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Did it.
Bunch of nerds.
I mean, had Biggs won, it lived.
Oh.
Nerds.
Oh. I'm surprised.
All Biggs did was he was a shield.
Yeah.
Basically.
Oh yeah.
I mean, granted, that shield did protect Luke Skywalker,
Yeah.
right? He doesn't do his job and get blown to smithereens. Maybe Luke takes it, right?
True. Yeah. So arguably, he saved the galaxy.
But is that being a good pilot, or is that just flying in a straight line? Right?
Flying in
Like-
formation.
The other guy, he's green leader. His craft
Stay
is
on target.
damaged. He's got to fight control, and the last thing he does is throw it over and go straight for the bridge.
Yeah.
right? Like that's skill.
Yep.
Yeah.
Biggs, straight line.
And to find the bridge on that big of a ship,
Yeah. Not just that, but when they found that time,
Yeah, it's time.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
but even when
Wow.
they found out it was a trap, and now you're going head on into the entire Imperial Navy, and you survive that. You're still dogfighting until
Yeah.
finally they get you. That's great piloting.
All right, here we go. Next round, we got Poe versus Carson.
Oh, let's go! Let's go! Let's go! This better be a sweep, or we're going to lose our guest. Just letting you know, man. Or we're losing our guest.
Oh, man.
I think that skewed the voting there.
Yeah.
Vote with your heart.
All right, here we go. It's going now.
Vote with your heart. Wink.
Yep. Paul's dealt with one heartache today. Don't give him another.
Yeah,
right.
right.
How many Poe Dameron figures are there compared to his? Come on, guys. Freaking
who?
Oscar Isaac, he's everywhere. Moon Knight, you can do all this stuff.
Yeah, he's got a lot. He's got a lot.
Spider-Man 2099, come on, bro. Give it up. Let's see. 38 votes. We're getting more votes.
Swinging.
Yeah.
39 votes. Look at that.
Let's go.
Everybody joining in.
People are logging into their phones, the ones watching from the TV.
Yeah. Ramming
Ooh,
at
come
full
on top.
speed.
Carson's taking it, man.
Yep. I see
Wow.
that. 43 votes. It's nice.
43. Look at that.
Rosa's in the house. What's up, Rosa?
Rosa.
And it's hot.
Thank you, Rosa.
She's
I
in
recognize
Norway.
that name.
She's in Norway.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, she's been on my chats as well
Time.
for fun boxing.
All right.
It's time.
Yep.
Nice.
Takes it, man. He goes to the final round.
Final round.
Final round.
Here you go.
All right. It's gonna be Wedge against Carson. Woo, that's gonna be a big fight.
Yeah.
All right. I don't even know what round I'm in. 6, 5, 6.
6.
All right. Wedge against Biggs. Here we go.
Boom.
Started.
Let's go.
Yeah. Mustache ain't gonna save him this time.
No.
Biggs did have a cool helmet though, man. I like his helmet.
Yeah.
His helmet design was cool, yeah.
So when I did my first costume fitting for it, they were painting my helmet and said, well, we need to take a picture of you in a helmet. So here, and they pull out this old Rubbermaid bin and they pull his helmet out, and it's a Biggs Darklighter helmet.
Oh
wow.
And I was like, really? It's like, is this for real? This is a Biggs Darklighter. And they're like, how do you know? It's like, because I'm a nerd. It's like, is this real? And they go, yeah, put it on. I was like, oh my God. And like, I started to cry because it was just like,
awesome.
I get to be on Star Wars and I get to touch like a friggin' piece of history.
Real
Time.
memorabilia.
Time?
Yep.
Here we
All
go.
right.
87.
Here it is.
You get any input on your helmet design? I
Yeah,
know you
that's
did
what
on
I'm
your
at.
patches.
Zero input.
Oh man.
Yeah,
I know the
no, I
patches
was-
you did.
Yeah, no, those patches were that was cool. That was really cool. But that was until season 3. But no. The helmet was painted by a guy named Frank Ippolito.
Good name.
Thingergy Props. I don't know if he designed it or he just, I know he painted it, but I don't know if he designed it.
Wow.
And it was great. In fact, I have Frank actually reached out to me and said, hey, I painted your helmet. So if you want like a replica of it, I'll paint you another one, but you have to supply the helmet.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, please.
Look for that in the mail, my friend.
Yeah. But then it began the search for, I don't want to just get any helmet. I want if it's going to be a replica, I want it to be as close to the original as possible. So it was sourcing down where the helmets were made.
Wow.
And there was another props company. There's a guy named Cal, and he has Mon-Cal Props, but he was also with, oh my God, what's the name of the props company? They supplied the helmets for Rogue One, and it's based on an Anovos sort of helmet that they modified, and then they put out. There was a creation. Oh God, what's the name of the company? Anyways, I found out that they'd made it, and I saw that Cal had his own props Etsy store. So I went, well, this has got to be it. This has got to be the closest one. So I ordered from him because he had blank ones for sale. And then I got it. And then he reached out and said, hey, I noticed the name on the order. Are you the guy who plays Carson David? I said, yeah. And he said, oh my God. If you're looking for a helmet that's accurate to the show, we supplied it for them. The one I sold you is close, but it's not quite the same one. I can send you a version that was actually used, like the exact ones that we sent for the show. I went, yes, please. And he gifted it to me, which was awesome. Yeah. So I had these 2 helmets, brought them down. Frank, I said, hey, Frank, here's 2 helmets, right? Keep one. You keep the other, keep the one that's slightly that's slightly off. I want the one that's completely screen accurate. And and like this was, and then COVID hit. And so we waited for like a couple of years, but Frank was great. Like I went to his prop shop in LA, and all the Greeblies, like the code cylinders and stuff. Like he had the machined, the actual metal slugs that they were all sort of they cast to make those code cylinders from. It's like, oh my God. So that was really cool. So I actually have it right there. Like that's as close as you can get to the actual thing. And if you give me a second, I can go grab it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Next thing, it's going to Lucasfilm Archive.
Man, that's an awesome room.
Yeah, it is. The warehouse.
Yes, sir.
Come a long ways.
I must say.
Yeah, it's come a long way.
There goes the 1/6 statue.
Yeah, yeah.
I love the way his little things are displayed.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, he almost went to the hospital.
Jazwares Vault.
There we go.
Yeah.
And I almost tripped and killed myself.
I didn't want to interrupt you earlier, Paul, but it's Faraway Creations. Is the,
Far away. That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, and they're great. So this is it. And like Frank,
Wow.
I mean, the color is accurate too. The construction of it is like even from the inside, like that
That's
foam.
cool.
Now it's since been modified. The one that I use used on the show, just because they needed they put like the mic pack back here and stuff for sound and stuff. And some of it it's like this inner helmet. Oh shit! This little inner helmet thing has since been modified so it sits better. But yeah, this is what it started off as, and when I first got it, which is great. So
That is awesome.
including the chin strap, which I fought mightily to sort of not have to wear. Yeah, for reason because I got a beard.
Yeah,
And the
beard,
chin
make it
strap,
itch.
like just and when the reason why was because climbing into the cockpit, like it's high up, so to climb into it, it's you got to get on a ladder, go up, sit in it, and it's hard for the makeup department to come in and make any sort of last minute final touches to make sure your beard doesn't look like ass.
Yeah.
And so it's just like because you got the thing and it's like it's all over the place, and they're saying so I'm trying to fix it, and I just hated it because as well the chin strap was tight, so it's like you got big ass chubby cheeks, and so it's like, oh, I don't like that look. And it's like, can I not have the chin strap, please? And they were like, no, it's canon. All pilots have their chin straps. And I thought, I don't think so, but I'm the new guy, so I'm not going to say anything, right? And then in season 3, I asked Shauna Tripsick because I was like, I've been around for a while now, like, and I think people can trust me, and they think I have a pretty good, head of my shoulders and stuff. And I asked Shauna, it wasn't for season 3, it was for Ahsoka. I asked Shauna, I said, hey, I want to pitch something to you. I really don't like wearing a chin strap. Can we maybe nix it or have it hanging down? And Shauna said, God rest her soul, because she's since passed on. But she said, if you can find evidence that it's canon, go for it.
Nice.
And I'll support it. I was like, yes. And so I went, and I was like, I'm pretty sure. And in the original trilogy, there's not only one, there are 2 pilots that do not have their chin straps on. And so the first one,
this is a future Jeopardy question, I might add.
Yeah, is
wink wink.
See if I can do this, and I'm gonna switch this over. Can you see?
There we go. Okay.
So this is Gold Leader.
Stay on target.
Right.
He's got his chin strap. It's not done up.
Yep.
Right.
True.
And then the other guy
World War II
is our friend Jack Porkins.
Hey.
Who I get, and you can see his chin strap, and he's got a beard.
Yeah.
Well, I understand why he doesn't have a chin strap. Right. And so, armed with that information, I petitioned. I said, hey, look. And I said, because of the beard and this and that. And it was great. And so they ran up the flagpole. And I said, well, let's take a picture of him without his chin strap on. And they're like, yeah, it's fine. So if you look at Ahsoka, I don't have my chin strap on for that. It's hanging down on the side. So that's my little victory.
Nice.
That's really cool, though.
Heard it here first.
But it
Behind the
also shows
scenes.
how much they do rely on what has been established in terms of canon. They want to do it right. They want to do fans. They want to do right by fandom. So when things happen, like the knee pads or the remnant scout troopers were upside down, the uproar over that I thought was a bit ridiculous, to be honest. If you've ever dressed up, if you've ever done cosplay as a scout trooper and you don't know how it feels like they should go upside down, but in reality they don't, because when you're riding or crouched and your knee is bent, it actually makes more sense for it to be the other way. But that happened on season 1 of Mandalorian, and some very vocal members of the public lost their freaking minds. Like, that's not canon. It's like, wow, did that really pulled you out?
Wow,
that pulled you out of the story. You're so upset over that you're gonna make you're gonna write a diatribe of how come they don't know Star Wars. Why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that? And it's just like, I get it. But at the same time, there's a lot of moving parts on a TV show, and they are doing. I mean, they are trying to go. They are going above and beyond on a lot of this stuff, and sometimes mistakes happen. Things slip through. I think they hate it when it does happen. They hate it just as much as the fans do. But at the end of the day, too, it's like, well, it's canon now.
Yeah,
right. They showed it. So
exactly.
You can complain about it, but it's canon now.
And it's not the only mistake.
It away. What's that?
That's not the only mistake. We've caught mistakes on the original trilogy, and Lucas did them. You're like, hey, that's the master. He wrote it. He made mistakes too.
Well, it happened. I mean, if you ever, shooting YouTube videos, you're the cameraman, the person in front of the camera. Sometimes I forget to turn the microphone on, and then I go and I do a whole review, and then I go to look at the footage, and I'm silent. Stuff like that happens.
That's so relatable.
Yep. I mean, our stormtrooper, our favorite stormtrooper, bumped his head walking into the room. We saw that in A New Hope, and that's canon, bro. The door didn't go up high enough, or there was a taller stormtrooper. Or, he bumped his head.
Yeah, you didn't see it. I mean, that's basically it. He absolutely did not see it wearing that helmet. And, so
true.
Chris,
let's see this final round.
Final round. You ready to vote, people?
Did I lose the poll? Oh no, here
we got 82 people. Make sure you vote. Remember, it's in your comment section on YouTube.
All right. Carson Teva versus Wedge Antilles. Final round.
Now we'll see how many people I lost with that little diatribe on. Screw this guy. There's no shit. Canon.
Oh, man. Hey, it's like a cool
24 votes, 25.
Oh, it started already. So
Yeah,
dude.
Where you been?
Such a time.
George didn't go, hey, starting now.
I did say starting now.
The hell you did. Replay the tape. Replay the tape. It's a mistake. He missed it. It's not canon.
Get off your TVs and log on to your phones and vote for the final round.
38 votes in there. Come on, people. 39.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look at that.
This is nice. This is healthy. This is a good lead. 40 people.
40.
Coming in hot.
Ooh. Come on.
Just those moves you pull chasing the Razor Crest. They're showing off.
Yeah.
Hey, Paul, we have a thing here. So
1 minute.
George ever likes any ship in Star Wars, you immediately don't like it because it will get blown up. That's time.
That's time, George.
Oh, look at that.
Hey, look at that.
All right.
Real cool.
Boom.
Champ.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
8%. Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool, man.
Very, very cool.
Congrats, Paul.
It's not an action figure, but
I'll take it.
You're the wing commander. You're the wing commander.
I think we skewed the results, which works for me. I'm happy with that. I will accept this with grace and magnanimity and say thank you very much, everyone, for voting for me. I guess I'll stay online a little bit longer.
That's awesome, man. All right, man. So Micro Galaxy Squadrons. I've recently started collecting them.
Yeah.
These things are badass.
Oh my god.
You've been collecting these since Series 1.
Yeah.
What got you into them?
I saw them at a local GameStop, and I love ships. Like, I just love them. Ever since I was a kid, I loved little die-cast airplanes, like anything little miniature of vehicles. I love, except for cars. Cars, not so much, but anything that flew, I loved. Like, just, I don't know what it is, but I saw them, and I was just like, ooh, what are these? Because I missed out on the Action Fleet stuff, right? Like they previously, I think Micro Machines, they had the Action Fleet, and I've actually started retroactively grabbing those when I can, because they're close in terms of scale. And I saw them and I just loved the detail on them, and they were cheap, and it was like super cool. The first one I picked up was a Sabine Wren TIE Fighter. Like, it was a repaint.
Wow.
Oh, you found that one. Okay.
Yeah, like,
wasn't
that was the
Chase?
first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea what Chase
Oh my
meant.
gosh.
Right? I didn't know.
Neither
So I was
did
like, oh,
George,
great.
by the way. George didn't know what Chase meant
know.
I
either.
didn't know either.
He left
I
it on
know.
the peg.
Yeah,
I know.
There's
See,
video proof of that.
I grabbed it. I grabbed it just because I was like, it's got a sticker on it. It looks different. I'll just grab this, right? And
Well, my
I'm
defense,
glad
the
I
other one
did,
had-
because George, I was screaming so hard at that video. You're like, nah, put me back. And you put it back. I go, what are you doing? All the other stuff is garbage. Just grab the ones with the stickers.
And you
Look
talked
at the
about
Asajj Ventress ship.
What
I
is
haven't
all
seen
that
this.
stickers?
Oh my
The other one
god, that was so, and that was funny.
Yeah,
Because
when
the
he
Asajj
said,
Venture
I haven't
ship.
seen the Asajj Ventress ship. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
no.
I
That
thought it was
is
a joke. I thought you were gonna walk back and grab it, and then you never walked back. I was like, dude.
Yeah.
So
And
that
funny
was
thing is, when I look back at the video is when I noticed that it was like limited. It's like when I was looking at it in front of me, I saw the sticker, but I saw a silver sticker and I saw a gold sticker on the other one. And I'm like, gold's better. So that's why I was like, let me get this one. And then I'm looking at the video as I'm editing it, and I see one of 15,000. I was like, oh shit, that was limited. So I was like, oh man.
And
Yeah.
that's the thing. And for people out there who don't know, they're called chase or rare ships, and basically they have a sticker on it. And the rare ships is like one of 15,000, and the chase variants are one of 5,000. And so that's basically the thing. And they are the delight and the bane of certain collectors' existence, depending on how you look at it, right?
Yeah.
Because those are the ones that are sought after because of that little sticker. And they are variants that are, they're a little bit harder to come by. They're not the common ships that everyone can sort of get that'll be on the pegs. Although lately it just seems like they're putting up the rares, and they put up like 5 of them per wave, and they just throw them out there. And so, they're highly sought after by the MGS community, to the point of like people giving up, saying, I'm not collecting this anymore because
Wow.
I can't ever get these, and it's stupid, and I think it's ruined this whole line. And it's just like, they're toys,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
You don't
if
need to be
look
a
at it,
completist. They're
Yeah.
ships and stuff. You
But
don't need every
still,
variant.
and I get it, but you want to have
Yeah.
stuff to hunt for.
Yeah.
Right? You want to, that's part of the fun of it. And if you get it, great. And if not, okay, there are other ways around it. Like what we used to do back in my day.
Yeah.
We go from store to, and then you have people like, well, I have to work for a living and I don't have time to go to store. It's like, yeah, okay, I get that. I understand that frustration, but it doesn't mean things have, we've gotten used to getting stuff shipped to us right away, instant demand. We've lost the ability to just enjoy the hunt going out. George, that's why I love your videos. You're like, I'm going to Target today. My wife said not to get anything, but I'm just going to look anyway, right? And then the Sith and the Jedi. Like, I love that because you make time for that. You go through, you go, I'm not planning on getting anything, but it's like that feeds the inner nerd in you, the child in you that kind of goes, oh, this is cool. This is really cool, right? Like I find joy in watching other people shop and discover things and kind of go. And that's what we used to do all the time. You get together with friends, like, we're going to go toy hunting. We're looking for this, and this. And you hit up 5 or 6 different places. And it wasn't every day, but when you got together, it was a great way of being with your community, hanging out with the dudes and just finding fun things, right? And hunting for others as well. Like we do that as well. We have a list. What are you looking for? And so you that's the joy. And that's why brick and mortar stores, like, oh God, they're going the way of the dodo because everything is online now.
Yeah.
And these stores can't afford to have the inventory on stock, to have people come in and stuff. So they go, well, it's cheaper for us if we just create an online store, and then everybody just click goes. But you lose that process, which I loved, of just going out, and it's not just about the hunting, but it's about talking to other, like if you're looking for something and you meet another collector, or chatting with the staff, or just, we don't hang out as much anymore. in person. And I kind of miss that. Like I miss that. I love that whole experience of toy hunting. And so so with Micro Galaxy Squadron, like again, like any sort of line, you have people who are awesome at collecting it and they're like share the information, they don't gatekeep. I got a spare one, I picked one up. Does anybody need it? You know, really, really try not to gouge. And then you got the assholes that go out and go, that's got a sticker, that's got a sticker, that's gonna grabs them all. And it goes, I've got a bunch I'm gonna scalp. I'll flip them for triple the price. Who wants? Right? So you kind of go, okay, if you really want it, sometimes you got to do that. And that's what I say for people with the rares and the chases. If you really need it, there's a premium for that. You have to, if you're not willing to go out and hunt or you can't, then it's like you got to go to Evil Bay and you gotta bite the bullet.
Evil Bay, I like that.
Right? So
what's your favorite ship so far that you got in your collection from the line?
Oh my God, there's so many. Like I have them all up. I see.
There. The silhouette's crazy.
Yeah, the Ghost is pretty kick-ass.
Yeah,
I just opened up the T6 shuttle, which is that's amazing because it rotates. From Ahsoka. The ATTEs are so much fun. The AT-ATs are amazing.
Yes.
Like they got I've got all these other ships here that I'm gonna sort of show. Jazwares, that's the name of the company that produces Micro Galaxy Squadron. They have a Jazwares Vault. And so what you can do is you can order, they have these sets that come out, the series sets, and the new one that's hitting that's getting to collectors right now is the Series 7. Light armor class, which are the lighter ships like TIE fighters and little snub-nosed fighters, and then the Starfighter class ships, which are the slightly bigger ones like X-Wings and like shuttlecrafts and stuff like that. So this is, and included in all these, it's like the wave, you get them and you get a chase and a rare from that line. And they're numbered and you can get them online, which is great. And so that solves it for people who say, I want those chases and rares, right? This is a way to get them guaranteed in a box. You have to, now it comes with like 3 other ships as well. But if the chase and rare is really something that you want, you can sell the other ships or give them away or whatever. And it's cheaper than going on eBay and paying $70, $80, $100 for a chase or a rare, because you get 2, and then the rest are, you get extra ships. So if you fleet build like I do, it's awesome. And the other thing is too, then you can just chill a bit, wait for a wave to get released. Go online, order it, have it delivered to you if you're in the US, because they don't deliver to Canada anymore.
What?
So it's okay. I mean, when the tariff shit came down, all that insanity. So it's like it's not just the auto sector; it's the toy community. Like, it's when you're collecting in Canada, you're already hobbled because a lot of companies don't ship up here anyways. It's that like the toy distribution system in Canada is not as varied as it is in the US. And so, I mean, but you find ways around it. You have friends who visit the States who hunt for you, or I have a PO box in the States, and so I get it shipped over there, and I use a delivery service that will take it and clear it through customs for me and deliver it to my door. But I'm paying a premium on it, right? So whatever you guys are paying, right? I have to pay because the Canadian dollar is weaker than the American dollar, so I'm paying more right off the top. Then you add, free shipping, thank God, in the States, but then I have to pay for import tax and then delivery charges on top of that, and then Canadian tax. And I can have it delivered to another address and pick it up in person, but I don't usually have time to do that. And so what I do is I have it delivered here, and that's an extra delivery charge on top of that too. So I'm paying close to double the price of what everybody else in the States is. But I'm in a position where I'm fortunate enough, because the job that I do, that I have that income that I can, I can splurge on that, right? And so I would never get these at the expense of rent or like my mortgage or food or like doctors, medication. This is that. It's like, sorry, baby, no insulin for you. I had to get this next wave of Micro Galaxy Squadron toys. But I mean, that's the and the lovely thing is too, you make connections, because I have a YouTube channel as well. and I unbox a lot of toys and collectibles. And I got on board with Micro Galaxy Squadron, and they reached out to me years ago, and they're like, "Hey, we noticed you like our stuff. Can we send you a care package?" I'm like, "Hell yeah!"
Yeah.
And I formed a relationship with them, and so they actually send me Wave the Vault releases, not like on a fairly regular basis, but not so regular that I expect it.
Right.
So
It's a nice
they'll
surprise.
just show up. Yeah, nobody will say from Jazwares, "Hey, by the way, we sent you a package." They just show up, and which is. I had already pre-ordered these. Jazwares Vault. I paid for both, and then it shows up, and it's like, "Oh, that's awesome!" And my wife is like, "What are you doing?" It's like, "Oh,
They gave it to me.
Oh,
I swear to God, they gave it to me.
So the cool thing is, what I do is like I will use these. I do reviews on them, and then I use them for giveaways, right?
Yeah,
Or
nice.
because up in Canada too, it's hard to get these, and so
Yeah.
my collector friends, "Hey, is anybody looking for this ship? I've got one."
Yeah.
Boom. You
Nice.
give back. Boom.
That's,
Give back.
Yeah.
Right.
that's the way it should be.
Yeah, I think so. And that's it's lovely, and that's the kind of ecosystem that I love, right? Where you're helping other people out, because that makes me feel good. When you see somebody get something that they've been looking for, and you're like, "Hey, here it is," that's an amazing feeling, and it's great because the universe works in that karmic sort of way where it's going to come back to you in some way or form. Because I that's happened to me. It's like, "Oh my God, I'm never going to find this figure." It's like, "Oh, I have an extra one. Take it." "Well, how much do I owe you?" "Nah, just take it. Just next time somebody needs something, pay it forward." Right? That's the best that this community has to offer.
Yeah.
And I wish that was more prevalent, because it just sort of seems like anything else. As it gets bigger, there are the ones in there that subvert it and give it a bad name.
Yeah.
And sort of are like Smog with gold, just hoarding everything and just grabbing it to have it and not display it or share it, just to have. And that's I mean, it's not healthy. First of all, that's symptomatic of something else.
Yeah.
But this is why I collect. This is why I love chatting with other collectors.
Is
And
there a
sort of-
ship in particular that you're hoping to see? Like, something coming down the line?
Yeah,
Not that
so
you know of, but something that you would
they
like,
have they've been hinting, because like they're on Series 9 is coming out. Like the Series 8 is hitting the shelves. Series 9 they've been hinting towards, especially for Celebration. They've got some con exclusives there, and they always knock it out of the ballpark with their con exclusive, for be it SDCC or for Celebration. And so like I see the silhouettes of the ships. There's like a Z95 Headhunter there, which is great. I think I'm surmising it's a twin pod cloud car.
That's
from
what I thought
Bespin.
too. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's definitely the silhouette. I would love to see what else is there.
TIE Defender too. Just
Yeah, the TIE Defender. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
TIE Defender. There is.
Is that Jedi Starfighter at the end?
Yeah, that's another
that's
chase.
what it's like, yes, I'm trying to see.
Now
it. I
there's
can't
another
tell.
one that came out. It's a B-wing. It's a chase. They're a rare in a chase where it's a B. There it is. There's a B-wing. There's another X-wing up there.
There's an X-wing.
Maybe that chase is
Could be an X-wing. Yeah, I could see the engine back here.
Era.
Just because
looks
there's
like
the dual, like, because of the Z95, you only have the one sort of blaster cannon on the side. The
Right.
ARC-10 is iconic, right?
Oh yeah, I want
And then
this.
you've got, it looks like a TIE. Now here's the thing: the TIE bomber had a very short-lived sort of run. I think it's Series 2 or 3, and no one in North America got it. They somehow, the distribution got kind of, I don't know what happened, but like I think Mexico got a ton of them, and Europe got some. But in North America, they're super rare. I just heard, and so check it out on
They
Amazon.com.
re-released it.
They're up.
They're
They're
up.
up for pre-order. So if you can grab one, awesome.
for the bomber.
I have to see an A-wing that is a little bit more accurate to the original trilogy, because the one that they have out right now is actually from Force. It's from the sequel trilogy, so it's a little bit more sleek. It's a little bit more, but they just repaint that and have been using that for all the A-wings. I'd like to see something a little bit more accurate. That could be that's definitely a TIE pilot, and then of course, yeah, you've got the Clone Wars era Walker.
ATS.
Yeah,
You think it's an AT RT?
yeah, Oh no,
Okay.
it's too big for the. Oh gosh,
I don't think it's an ATRT. I think
No.
that's an ATST, but like the Rebels.
Rebels
Yeah.
version, 100%, 100%. And the other one looks like, because it looks like the advanced TIE with the bent wings. It's not Vader flying it. That's definitely a TIE pilot. So
Yeah.
it could be a bomber. It could be something else. But those, again, that's the joy of sort of going. Okay, what is it going to be? I mean, of course, I'd love to see some of the capital ships get done, but like the scale's never going to work.
That's what George and I was talking about. I think last week, capital ships. Like, I would love to see a Corvette.
You don't think
or
we'll
even
no, they won't, because they're trying to keep them all sort of the same scale, and that's a bit too much, right? That's why the land speeder is like, it's a teeny tiny little thing, right? Because the sandcrawler, I'd love to see the sandcrawler.
Yeah,
that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that silhouette for sure was a TIE bomber, because as you were talking about it, I looked at the silhouette, then I pulled it up on my phone.
Yeah.
I just kept looking at it, and you could see it's a TIE bomber.
It's got to be a damaged. Oh, they actually have a troop carrier, which looks like a TIE bomber, except the wings are, because it's got the dual fuselage, but the wings are reversed. So that would be great, because you see that at the end of Rogue One as it's going, because it's flying next to Vader's shuttle. Yeah, the U-wing is
capital ships though, because like the Falcon and the T6 and the Ghost seem to be sort of in scale with each other, but they don't know if they're in scale with the other ships.
Yeah, the Falcon's a little bit undersized.
Yeah,
but I mean that's because it was that's Series 1.
Yeah,
right? They were just launching the line, and the Falcon's like great. I have 3 different versions of that, right?
Yeah,
the Return of the Jedi, destroy the Death Star, the attack the Death Star version, and then the Galaxy's Edge version.
Yeah.
Which is great. Somebody asked, I just saw that I wanted to name my astromech OKCU, but they from up high, it's like no, it's they don't. It's an R2 unit. So I was like, oh, okay. Because then the next one was like, how about R6GO? The 6 meaning Toronto GO Go Train, because Filoni's a huge Go Train fan. That's like a commuter train system that runs in Ontario. Dave loves it. And because my astromech droid was green, so I thought, oh, that's kind of perfect. And he said, no, it's an R2 unit. I went, okay, fine. So I just sort of left it, and then we did that episode in season 3 where Carson finds the derelict Lambda shuttle, and they send the probe out. And I don't know why I didn't catch this, but my droid name is R7 something. We go, R7, send in the probe. And I was like, oh, I totally could have said something. And I didn't. So there's that. Here, I'm going to show you guys.
You could always have your astromech get blown up and then get a new one.
They swapped them around. So that was the thing, because my original astromech is like the domed one, like an R2, and Trapper Wolves was like an R5, right? It had the trapezoidal or whatever that shape is. And then later on, when you see us landing in Navarro, it's like there's 2 X-Wings. You don't know if it's Trapper Wolves or not. But the one that was supposed to be mine had the R5 unit in it. So I asked, I said, so what's the deal with that? Like, what droid is mine? Because it flops back and forth. And he said, like, pilots don't, as explained to me, they don't always fly the same ship, right? And they don't always have the same droid with them. It's like it's an astromech droid that's there to service the ship. So if a droid's attached to a certain ship, maybe your droid's undergoing maintenance or this or that. It's a longabout way of saying it's magic. It's just like it is what it is. We can't go crazy with that kind of continuity, because at the end of the day, that shouldn't really matter, right?
Yeah.
Does it really affect the story? Not really. It's little tiny details that are nice, but at the end of the day, you can explain away any of those details.
Yeah.
Right. So don't use up your bandwidth on that. Use it on the things that actually matter. So I think, and that made sense, like the whole idea, because somebody explained to me that in the Air Force, sometimes they don't fly the same planes all the time.
They don't. I was in the Air Force.
Yeah.
You fly a different airplane every time you get an assignment.
Yeah.
So it's not like Top Gun.
But you
No,
know
no,
what's pretty funny about that is that in the Heir of the Empire, there's actually a little section where it goes over that, because that's one of the ways that Luke convinces Mara Jade about R2 and why he's important, because his memory doesn't get wiped like the other ones,
Right.
because the communication he has with his X-Wing, it helps him to start it up like 25% faster than the other X-Wings, because they
Nice.
have that communication.
Right.
So that was
Amazing.
pretty neat that they actually went that deep into it about something like that, because like he says, none of the other ones, they do that.
Yeah. And it's great, that kind of lore as well, because you know they played on that a little more in Solo, right? L7.
L7.
They downloaded her memory, like, because she was so good at navigating. They download it, and it's, you know, it's a nice callback, because like they retcon or they make that connection with C-3PO saying, I don't know where your Navi computer learned to speak, but it's quite odd.
Yeah.
Right. And you kind of go, oh, okay, that's a nice
That's fine.
way of linking it. Yeah. So okay, so this is again so here's a light armor class. It comes in a shipper box and another beautiful sort of box. Where is it? Oh my god, come on.
What's in the box?
Old man reach. So it comes in.
Oh,
it comes in like a nice, like a really
That's cool.
nice.
artistic box and stuff. And so this gives you an idea of what's going to be in. This is Series 7, which is being delivered now to everybody. And like these boxes are so friggin' pretty. Like, look at that. There's like it's foil. It's reflective. It really looks high end. And then there is a Jazwares. There's a sticker on it to make you seem. There you go. Where is it?
Yeah, gold
Vault.
Oh,
so you're right. One of 1,500. Right. So again, for you sticker fiends out there who need to have that, there you go. Right.
Does it come with a coin?
That's next. That's next. And then so
toys.
you open it up, and it's just like, this is what I love when you open it up to the inner box art.
Oh,
Nice.
cool.
Nice.
Really gorgeous. I mean, you can't really sell because my light's reflecting off it, but like this is metallic, like so. Like the cockpit's got the shine on it, right? Like the inside box art is spectacular. They've got a nice piece of tissue paper here to make it seem even more high end. And when you remove that, you've got these are your ships that are involved in this wave. Here, they're just packaged. They're just the regular ships that you would see on the pegs at the stores, right? And in this case, so here's the Chase, which is Soontir Fell's TIE Interceptor from the 181st. That's the Chase, one of 5,000, and this is the Rare, which is Kylo Ren's TIE Whisperer, but it's the destroyed variant, right? So it's the one that Rey takes a lightsaber to and wrecks it. And then you have the droid, a Vulture droid here, which is the Armada edition. Now, the Armada edition is a re-release of common ships if you want a fleet build. So they're just releasing them, and so that's what the Armada edition is. They've done it for TIE fighters. They've done it for the Comet class. The Gauntlet. Sorry. So those, and then you have, you know, so they're doing that. They're just re-releasing them so you can get them if you need a number of them. The T-47 Snow Speeders is another Armada edition, which is great.
Okay.
So that's got nothing to do with the game, though, right?
No,
Star Wars
no,
Armada.
No.
So
it's just that you can army build or fleet build, like you said.
That's it.
Right.
They call it
Okay. I was wondering what the Armada edition was.
Yeah, and that's literally that's all it is. It's like these are popular ships. Like if you want a swarm of Vulture droids, now you can get it. And the great thing about the Vulture droids is you can have them. You can remove the wings and have them in the sort of the crab position where they're walking and stuff, or you can have them in the flying position, which is great. Nice. You've got Saesee Tinn's Jedi Starfighter, and then you have Kylo Ren's regular TIE Whisperer right here. So
nice.
It's great because they actually dropped this line without any fanfare. Usually they say, hey, 6 days, the new Vault edition is coming out, and like you get all worked up and they show little snippets of it. This one, they just one day was like, this is available for sale. Go. And I was like, oh my God. A friend sent me the link. I was like, oh my God. And I don't know why I've got severe FOMO with this line. So I'm like, oh, I need to get these. And I think what's happened is like it slowed down a bit because it used to be when this dropped, if you didn't jump on it within an hour, they'd all be sold out, and then you'd be SOL. Now I think the bloom is off the rose, and I think people are like sort of chilling a bit more, or they've like just gone forget it. But they're more readily available. So you can check on Jazwares.com. They'll have a little tab saying the vault. Go and click on there. And it's not just Micro Galaxy Squadron stuff. Like if you're a fan of AEW, the Ring of Honor stuff, Halo, if you're a fan of that stuff, like they have all of those as well in the vault. And so basically the vault is a way of getting older editions of some of the lines in a wave if you want. So there's that. But like this opens up. I mean, it's great because it's very like this packaging, it's all presentation, right? So this just lifts out, right? This is gone. And you just pop them out.
Well, you're on.
That's it.
Do you keep your boxes or do you store them?
So here's the thing. I have space danger. Don't as lovely as these boxes are, I can't keep them.
It's hard.
So they're freaking gorgeous, but I got to get rid of them. And I know there are people who are like, well, why don't you see if anybody wants them or this? It's so much work to convince like this, even if you wanted to give them away. Some people are like, I don't know. Yeah. But if you throw them away, people get mad at you. And it's like, well, you're not storing them. I have to. I'm not gonna. So I'm getting rid of it. They are gorgeous boxes, but in the end too, these need to be freed and they need to be shown.
I was about to ask you that.
Make
what
them
is cases? Do you unbox them or do you buy two and keep one in a box? And
if I can, I'll keep one in the box just because I'm crazy that way. And it's like, I have it full mint on card with the sticker. Like I do that. Like I get it, and that's fine. But I have a bunch of like chases and rares that I've opened up and they're on display there because fuck man, you have to take them out. To play with them. You have to put them in great. And so I have a friend, Steve 3. He's brilliant. And what he's done, he's taken an idea, and you see this on Etsy where the one thing about Micro Galaxy Squadron is they don't come with stands. So in order to like sort of have him in a dynamic pose, there you go. And so Chris he's showing. So some really, really smart entrepreneurial people are designing clips and stands so you can pose the ships and have them look way more dynamic. And then Steve, so he's done that. There you go. Beautiful. Right? Because it's hard. And there you go. That's beautiful.
Oh, that's cool.
All right.
Nice.
This one's nice because it has like a nice little peg in the back, so you can keep it straight, or you can actually just tilt it to the side.
And that's what you want.
Like the tilt.
You want that dynamicism.
Like you want to change it out, you know what I mean? Like
does that wing pop off?
Change it up and it can. Yeah, it can. But I mean,
that's mine keeps coming out.
Like so there's a screw in the bottom.
I know. I've done that, and it's I'm like, come on.
I get scared. But I mean, look at the difference between if you have it like this, right?
Yeah.
Compared to having a landing gear. And every time I review these, I hate to say I complain about it every single time that there are no stands. I'll pay the $15 to go on Etsy and buy one. That's fine.
Yeah.
And I mean, it'd be pretty cool if Jazwares gave one and it was clear. You know, we talk about it all the time.
Yes.
A lot of my furniture is black, so you can't tell.
Yeah, like that.
And I'm not a fishing line kind of guy either. I don't have the patience to do that and string it up. I'm like, but it's nice to have the different levels. You want that. You want ones. And so I have like clear acrylic shelves that I have like up there, and I put them on and
show flex. Look at flex.
Yeah, the flex.
Yes. Yeah. So I have. So I've got. So Steve does that, but what he also does is,
and Flex weathered his.
Yeah.
And custom weathered his. Looks great.
That's nice, man.
That's the stickers, if they're that important, what I do is the cool thing is Steve's printed out. Do I have one? Hold on.
Or putting them through some work.
You know what I found out about this Jango Fett though?
Huh.
That Boba Fett in there, he wasn't meant to be in that ship because he keeps falling around inside of it.
Oh, I just got that one.
Yeah.
He just keeps flying out of the seat.
So Steve's got he makes these little
nice.
You can take the sticker out, right, and stick it in there, and it's like a little plaque piece that you put I put in
front of your
the ship.
displayed one that's saying it was a chase.
Full coin.
I like
And
that.
so
man.
I think that's a brilliant workaround for
That
if you're
is.
sticker obsessed. You kind of go, well, this is a chase. I
That's
love
pretty
that.
cool.
And so, like, this is from my Antok Merrick. That's up there. It's like
Nice.
Antok's got to be
Oh, they
free.
made a blue leader.
Yeah, blue leader, man.
Oh man,
You
I
need
gotta
one?
find that. Yeah, I didn't know they made
George,
it.
George is
oh, yeah.
behind the times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, Paul, you
that
said you
one's a
did
very
now, right?
rare one too. The Antok Merricks. I'm really surprised at how everybody. It's funny which ones end up going like everybody's losing their minds, right? Like the Sabine tie was the grail for everybody.
Yeah.
And then all these got like a ton of them were selling for $5. So people who were trying to, scalp them for $400 or $500 online suddenly were in a panic.
Yeah, I heard a whole
that.
bunch of stuff just showed up at Ross during the holidays.
Yeah. So
and people went nuts.
what happened was it's not Jazwares' fault. Like they distribute it, but they don't control how the retailers sell it. So what happened was, as I've heard, like Walmart got a whole bunch of them and just never put them up on the shelf. So they sat in the back, either buried or whatever. And then they were like, "Oh, we've got all these toys. There's no room for them. This is series 1. We're on series 5 or 6 now, right? This is old stuff." Like they didn't want to put it on shelves, so they just put them on consignment, sent them out as like clearance stuff, and then Ollie's got them. And then that's where all these Sabine ties ended up being distributed.
Oh my god.
Through a discount seller. So like people were getting for $5, but then that added fuel to the fire because then collectors started losing their minds and going, I'm not paying more than $5 for that. I want to find a $400 eBay ship for $5. That's what I'm going to do. And then it was just like gold.
And
rush.
that's the hunt. That's what you needed. Now get out there on your brick and
Yeah.
mortar and start going.
Yeah.
But then you got people who are like, because they would at Ollie's, you'd have like not 1 or 2, you'd have like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And some dude went out and hit up all these Ollies. I saw them. He
Grabbed
had
them
like 15 of them.
Yeah.
Like, look what I got. I'm like, you bastard.
Yeah, they did the
Come
same
on.
thing with the Trapper Wolf helmet when it came out. I think
Right.
it was 2 years ago. They were at Ollie's for like 30-some bucks.
Yeah.
I showed up every day, and the pallet guy's like, "No, somebody came in here and just took everything." Like, are you freaking serious? Not one, bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I can't find anything at Ross. I go in there.
It's always a jungle in there, man.
Yeah, man.
Oh, get me out of here, please.
Yeah, that's almost akin to dumpster diving. I can't stand going there.
I'll go to Target any day and Walmart any day before Ross. But I'll still peek in, like, I gotta go check just in case.
Well, what happens is that you get, like you said, the FOMO. I was like, I see the Ross. I'm like, it's gonna be in there. Let me pull over and
Let me just go. Yeah.
just to clear my sanity. And then the funny thing is I'm walking in and I see somebody who kind of looks like me walking out. I'm like, I know you found that damn shit.
That's it.
So,
Goodbye, daughter of Dathomir. Thank you. For
Good
night, Diana.
night.
that is cool, man. What's the rarest ship you've ever found in the wild? You said that though. You see, was
Sabine
the
tie.
Sabine tie.
Right there. And then actually it's so cool. So my buddy Ernie Villarreal in the States, he doesn't even collect MGS. And he goes, "Oh, I found a wedge. Do you want it?" I'm like, "Yes." So he sent me the wedge. Right.
Nice.
And so and that's the cool thing too. It's like people who are like, "This is a great line, I can't get into it, but I found this. Do you want it?" And it's like, that has a chase sticker on it. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
So
Is there anything that you're looking for them to make? I mean, like I made a list of ships that I would love to see.
okay.
That they're maybe obscure, or maybe just because they're deeper cuts, or maybe because they're more from a video game.
Right.
But like the Ebon Hawk from the
Right.
Kotar game,
That'd be
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
the Outrider from Dash Rendars.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see that.
Right.
Actually, Anakin's Clone Wars 2D Starfighter with a hyperdrive engines in the front.
Oh yeah.
They made a Hasbro version of that. I have that, but I would love to see that on this.
Right.
And obviously, as much as some of us love the show and didn't, I want to see that Onyx Cinder.
Oh my God.
Onyx.
Both versions. I want to see,
Yeah.
the shell. I want that, but I want
That was
the
a cool
fleet
ship.
ship.
Yeah.
It was a
100%.
very cool ship, dude.
The Fondor from Andor. The font,
Yeah.
like
Yes.
I would love
Yeah.
to see that
Yes.
version of it.
Yes. I would love a Juggernaut.
Yeah.
The actual like tank. That would be great. And obviously, like you said, a capital ship. But the closest thing that I think we could get to a Corvette is probably going back to the old Hasbro line that they had.
Yeah.
They had one. They had a big one. I know I have the Star Destroyer.
I had to.
Yeah.
You have that one.
I got that one in the Star Destroyer too. It's
Yeah,
right-
I have the
right
Star
back there.
Destroyer. Yeah, you got to keep it in
Yeah.
there, and it goes pretty nice with these.
Oh yeah, it's great. I mean,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. But the big thing is they do want to keep them
Yeah.
somewhat to scale so that the playability is there, and the cost too. Like the Ghost Battle Pack with the 2 Y wings
Yes,
is kind of like the biggest thing that they've put out there, and that box is massive, right? And it was great too because you have so many different features. You have different minifigs that go with it. As opposed to the Target release, you got the Phantom one to go with it, and so that's really cool. But I mean, that was gigantic, right? Like that box was huge, and the price point. I mean, that's the other thing that they want to be cognizant of is what I think Jazwares has done well is they've kept the cost down, and in fact, they started reducing the price, especially for the Armada ships, for example, right? So that they're affordable, so that kids can go and or parents want to buy them for kids because it's not like $50 for a tiny piece of plastic.
Yeah.
And I go, oh, well, this is like $12, $16. Yeah. Like
Yeah,
these
a parent
little,
can get behind that. Yeah.
yeah, the blind boxes. Like these are fun, right? Like these little scout class things. The blind boxes are like they dropped down to something like $3 or something like that. Like in Canada, these were selling for $10 a pop, right?
Yeah.
So which is about $3 American. So I'm not going to complain too much. But, that's
hopefully you're getting paid in US dollars for your job.
I actually am. But that's the wonderful thing is they're very cognizant of that, and they want to make things affordable. And the playability of these toys is huge for them.
I saw the con where they introduced the AT-AT, and they did a whole diorama, and I'm like, dude, where was this in my childhood?
Right?
That, because you had the Hasbro one, but your mom was looking at you like, nah, you got to see on your report card, you ain't getting shit. Whereas now you're like, yo, wait a second, mom, I got a job. I'm a professional. I can buy all the AT-ATs I want, and you can make a diorama. And they did a great job with that.
They did.
AT-AT is beautiful, and like you pair it up with some snow speeders.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Look at that. I'm doing a hot scene.
Utini. Mine's up there.
Yeah.
Mine's up there. Like,
it's crazy.
It's there. Yeah. I think I had to limit it to 3 AT-ATs because I would have had no. Like I have 6. So, but I could I'm like, oh no, I can only put 6. And
I
then,
love
like,
that
all the
you got
speeders.
6.
Yeah, right. And so like all the snow speeders, it's like, well, but I don't have the stands.
You need the stands for the snow speeders.
Yeah, but I have a crashed one that's busted open, and I've got like a Scout Walker that's down, and like the got Commander's dead and stuff like that. And that's part of the joy of this too, is the playability, and that's what they want kids to play with these things. Get back to what these toys were meant for. And even as adult collectors to be like, fuck, come on, let's admit it. We've all played with the toys and gone, like you've done it.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Hell yeah. Absolutely.
And you take ships that aren't even supposed to be with each other, and you're like, okay, I'm going to put this guy with a Falcon, whatever the case may be. And you can do that. I mean,
that's the joy
what imagination is for.
Yeah,
those evening bubble baths that you do. You're in the bubble bath.
Right?
And then you pretend it's Hoth, and the snow is actually the bubbles. You're like,
the bubbles.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's pretty detailed there, Chris.
I know.
Every night.
Extra medium.
I'll tell you what, though, if they want kids to be playing with these, they need to make it a little easier to get out of that plastic. Because good lord,
I know.
Yeah, that's pretty tough. God, man. The Ghost is pretty tough to get out.
I'm almost terrified of
Ghost was hard, man.
I'm terrified of breaking something.
Yeah,
right.
Open, exactly.
Like, it's in pretty tight, and in fact, during an unboxing, I did break one of the and it was live on air with Jazwares, which is hilarious. And they were like, "Oh, be careful of the snap." Like,
But you know what I do
they're like,
appreciate is that they don't have the
So
twine or the wires inside that then you got to unscrew
Yeah.
Oh
like
yeah.
the old Hasbro ones. You're like, come on, man! I just took it out the box and now I got more.
The
That's
tie
to keep
silencer
it in
feels
place,
like
but
was
it
gonna
also
break.
stop people from stealing them.
Yeah.
Those are that's
Yeah.
the anti-theft thing, right? Because people used to
Yeah.
just open the boxes, pull the thing
Yeah.
out, and run.
Yes.
They go.
I was so sure when I was opening the tie silencer, I was gonna break it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like, the tips
the
were
wings.
very, very thin.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm gonna break this.
Yeah.
I just got it. I was like, oh yeah.
But they make them. It's smart too because they make them more pliable, right? Same with the X-wing with the cannons and stuff. They're a little bit more pliable, and sometimes it sucks because like they're bent and they sort of stay because like they've been bent. But you can always fix that with a heat gun.
Yep.
A little bit of heat, heat it up a bit, get it straight, let it cool down quick. It's great. This is the Starfighter class collection. So these are the slightly bigger ships, right? So the other ones were ties. This one in Series 7. Oops. So again, great artwork.
Yeah,
on the
Look at
inside. Fiend Fighter. You got an AT-AT, Snow Speeder, T6 Shuttle, right? And then you've got another Gauntlet or Comrade class. And this one is Darth Maul's.
Darth Maul's Sith brother or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
So stupid question, since I don't collect these. Do you open the chase figures or the chase ones?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll open them. They're so in this one you get the chase and the rare for this are the Marok's Fiend Fighter.
Mhm.
Right? So that's the chase. And for the rare, it is Darth Maul's Knight brother.
The one that
Combat class.
Yeah.
I did find it again afterwards though, so I did get it.
Good. Because there were like two of them, and I was like, George,
George,
come on.
God dang it,
What
George.
are you doing? So if I had your number, I would have texted you. After seeing that, like I was just like, I had this huge comment I typed out and I was like, don't be crazy. It's fine. It's fine. So you got the Armada Edition Snow Speeder.
Nice.
So if you want to, do the battle.
You can build there and you can do the battle, yeah.
Yeah. And then Phantom 2, which is great. And then this is Shin Hati's Fiend Fighter.
Mrs. Hottie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it, again, the difference between the two is like, Marok. So people have really become obsessed as well with collecting the characters. And this is the only way to get Marok is to get the Fiend Fighter.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because for me, the focus has always been on the ship. It's like, oh, I need the ship. I need the ship. And if I have the ship and there's a variant of it, you kind of go, well, it's a chase for the ship. And I'm like, no, I don't really care. But then people are like, yeah, but I need the character. And I go, oh, right, I guess. But I always put the character in the ship. You never see them. So I don't give a fuck.
I was
I don't care.
Because Ralph doesn't put his characters in the ship. It doesn't make any sense. You gotta have
I don't put them in the ship. I keep them in the little containers.
Oh, you do that too? Okay.
Yeah, I keep them in the containers, and I'm like, I did find somebody on Etsy that actually makes like a carrying case for this.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, just like the old. Remember that pleather one that we used to get with the 1977 stuff and the 80s stuff, but these things are pretty cool and they're pretty detailed,
Yeah.
No, and it's great, and you don't lose them, and you don't rattle around on the ship when you play with them. I get it, but I always put them in the ships. I always do.
The only one that I had to open,
Jesus.
The only one I had to open, which was this one, which came with Darth Maul's ship because it came with the bike. And the only way you can get the bike is by opening it up a little bit. So I'm like, okay, I have the bike on display with it right in front of my Darth Maul missile statue. And it goes really good in front of your statue. Like if you got this and you've got the Maul, you got the slave one, as it's called. There's no other name for that ship, as it's called, right, Frankie? Am I wrong, Frankie?
No, you're all right. You're 100% backing you, sir.
Okay. So you put that right next to your Boba Fett from Sideshow, with Han Solo frozen. This is perfect, man. It goes great with it. And George can use that, Asajj Ventress ship with his Asajj Ventress,
whatever.
Series 1.
It's a good looking ship. I like that ship.
It is. It was, like you said, like, hey, I haven't seen this ship ever.
And the funny thing is that everybody told me at that point, it's like, I see those things at Ross all day long. I've been to 5 different Rosses. I have never seen that freaking ship or any ship at Ross.
Yeah. I had seen it at Ross a ton of times, but Yeah.
I see those. They still have them at every store. That's a Series 1 ship.
Yeah.
That is forever. Like that is peg warmer of the century. Like that's a clean miss. And it's so funny because it fluctuates in price because I've seen it on clearance for like $3. And now it's back in Canada. I went back to the GameStop and I was looking through. It's $19.
No.
I'm like, are you serious? That's crazy.
No.
Because it's super small as well. But I mean, that's a ship that just hit. Right?
Yeah.
It just didn't hit Nether. I don't know what they did in terms of how many units they released, but that ship just did not spark anyone's imagination. So it just perpetually sort of consigned to being there. Now I'm hoping, because I do have a couple of them. I'm hoping it's one of those where everybody like turns their noses up and like 10 years, 15 years, 20 years from now they go,
anybody
got
got
that
it?
Asajj Ventress ship? This is super rare now.
Please, anybody got it?
Right?
Yeah.
I'm positive that's what's going to happen.
For me right now, it's the Naboo Starfighter. I see that everywhere I go. And
Yeah.
a lot of
Why?
them.
I see
Yeah.
every Target I go to.
Yeah.
Yeah. But do you have the Mandos N1?
I don't have
all
the N1.
silver.
Yeah.
Same ship.
Yeah,
Exactly same ship, right? You just different paint scheme on it, right? Not exactly the same, but like so. I mean, it's based on the N1, blah blah blah, all that stuff. But like I have a mix and match too, right? So I've got in my Mando display, I've got like the Innovos helmet, and I've got the Hot Toys Beskar version, the shiny, like the die-cast one.
Right.
And then I have the MGS, like the Razor Crest up there, the Vala 7 version with the with the Jawa and Grief Karga. And then I've got the N1 Starfighter underneath there. And I have a replica of his Bergman blaster.
How is the Razor Crest on MGS?
How's it? I'm sorry.
How's the Razor Crest?
Oh, it's amazing. It's great.
It's put together before it blew up, George.
Yeah, I know.
So you have two different versions. You've got the one version with the old Mandalorian armor set, and then the Arvala 7 version has panels ripped off of it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Which is great. So they're slightly different. And of course, you get different figs for it, right? So the Arvala 7, it comes with like a Jawa, for example. The other one comes with like Grief Karga. So it's you get different figs with the ship at least, right? Like with the Falcon. There's the Escape from the Death Star that has Obi-Wan Kenobi in it for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Because he didn't escape. I mean, it's like,
Nope.
You know, a few people escaped. Wasn't Obi-Wan.
He's dead. He's dead.
But that was the only version that you could. That's the only way you could get Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan,
right for a while, and then it's like, well, what about Luke? There's no Luke, right?
Yeah, there's no Luke in this.
Yeah. So now, I mean, and they fixed that with the land speeder, but they made that a chase.
Oh.
Right. And so people are like, come on. But they released it. I think it was a Vault Series 3 or 5 where they had it. So it was like a light armor class. And so I bought one and I was like, hey, I've got my land speeder, right? With Luke and Obi-Wan. And yeah, it's there. And then that's what the Vault is for. That's what it's supposed to be for. They're not sold out of that. But it was one of those opportunities. Like if you really wanted to get one, there's your chance. And so, you know, I got to give props to Jazwares. They're trying to do right by the toy community.
They are.
And you know, sometimes you just can't win for trying. You're never going to make everybody happy, but I've been very, very impressed with stuff. And like a lot of toy companies, sometimes the quality control is like I will admit, like you can't argue that. You look at some stuff that was sent out. I know I've heard stories of people, they ordered the Vault just to get the chase and rare. They open it up, no chase, no rare, and they have the wrong ships packed in there.
Oh no.
Oh my God. It happened to this one dude. And I laughed and laughed and laughed because like guy's a bit of an ass, right? And so like he's like, oh, and he opens it up and it's just like, dude, you got 5 commons in there. It's like, where's my chase? Where's my rare? And it's like, that's karma, man. Now he contacted Jazwares and he ended up getting the stuff eventually, right? But it happens, and like they have wrong packaging a lot of times. Like they'll put the wrong ship in with the wrong card back, or the wrong figure in with the ship, or you get double figures, right? Like Ahsoka, I got one package where there are 2 Ahsokas in with her ship. So that for me, it's like, oh, that makes it even more rare because it's a mistake.
It's an error.
Yeah, it gets to the point where there's so many mistakes. It's like, okay, this is not rare anymore. This is just kind of like, what's
It's an
going on?
employee
guys?
having a bad day.
Yeah, right.
It's like, you know what? Screw him. Put him an extra Ahsoka on this guy. No
But
chop for you.
like a lot of things, it's like it's growing pains, right? Like they're pumping them out because they're selling well, and then they make the adjustments and the corrections, and so like I have not seen any issues with the last few waves, right?
Yeah.
And that's the way that's growth. That's
Yeah.
what happens, and
Yeah.
the fact that they have become. I mean, I've been since day one like a big booster of this line just because I love the detail. I mean, George, you look on the inside of the cockpits, like it's not just a blank piece of plastic that they molded. They've put in instrument panels. They've put in like all this detail you don't need to. And on the figures, the paint apps, like the decals on the helmets now, they're not just blobs of paint anymore, right? Series 1 were like, if you look at R2, Series 1 is just a blob of blue paint on the top. Now, if you look at different iterations of the R2 droids, they have the little panel lines all along.
Nice.
Like it's amazing what they've done with it, right? And so I love seeing the evolution of a line, of a brand as well, because as technology gets better and as they get better and they know what to do, man, the designers there, the engineers, they're just knocking it out of the ballpark.
I agree.
Yep. The only issue I had one
wow.
time was my Ghost, my Phantom 2 would not clip in really good to my Ghost.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Things
once I got it in,
down there.
it's staying in. That's
Yeah.
it. You know, that's it. Don't touch it. And somebody's like, "Hey, I got you the Phantom 1." I'm like, he's staying right there, bro. He's not touching the Ghost.
Yeah. Scott Barry just mentioned this too. The neck parts broke down, right? Like they and you look at that, like, and this is true because I'm looking at mine. It's like, oh my god, yeah, they're disintegrating, and it's not like I
played with it or anything. Yeah.
No, this literally in the box, you can see them breaking down, right?
What is it, like rubber?
Yeah,
The neck part.
Oh.
the seal that
articulates.
they use. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, ones that are in box, I'm looking and going, no, that's breaking down in the box. Like that's just
Oh wow.
something's happening there. There's a chemical process where it's breaking down. And again, it's one of those things where, you know, you can contact Jazwares, but there's somebody on Etsy had a brilliant. They reprinted it using TPU, and you have to take it apart, but it's brilliant. You look at it and go, that's a great workaround because it looks exactly the same. It's made of a better material, and it's kind of a fun sort of project. It's like I'm going to replace the neck seal on it, and so you know. You do that. It's kind of a bummer that you have to do it, I guess.
Yeah.
But if you're going to make the best of a bad situation, you know, why not?
Yeah.
So
Tweak it out.
You ever
Make a
modify?
diorama out of it.
Yeah.
True. Do you ever modify or repaint any of them?
I haven't yet, but there's a bunch where I'm like, I'd like to do that. Just use a bit of a wash.
Yeah, that's Flex. That's what
It's
Flex does. He
Flex
does an
does
amazing
that.
job.
Yeah, and it's brilliant, dude. Like your work is beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, man. I'm thinking about doing that to the T6. Actually, I was looking at I ended up watching Tested's video again, where Adam Savage visited ILM, and they were looking at the studio scale one.
Yeah,
and I was looking at the way the wash was on that and how the paint chipping was around it, and I was thinking, man, I could do that to the ship.
Yeah.
So it's
And
so
it's inexpensive and it's fun, and you got a nice looking ship, man.
Yeah.
Really nice.
No. And it, you know, and that's the product of you look at that because your individuals are doing that, right? Like if you're in a studio, that's one thing that you're doing it to, and so you can take the time. With toys that are mass produced in a factory, like what they're coming up with, I think is great.
Yeah.
You know, it's you kind of go, okay, there's limitations to that. Like HasLab, the Ghost that they have, like engineering wise, it's friggin' beautiful. It's huge. It's like a 3.75 scale starship that, you know, it's amazing. I'm not thrilled with the paint on it, the paint app on it, but I can modify. I can give it a good repaint and a rewash and stuff. There's certain elements on it that are great, like the engines look beautiful, but the rest of the ship, in terms of the wash, you know, I think I can modify that.
Yeah,
that's part of the fun too. Is like modding that yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And getting it to look the way you remember it or you think how it should look.
I should.
Put in LEDs in the engine.
Nice. I thought about that, putting LEDs in the engine.
Yeah.
On the Micro Galaxy, right?
Yeah, on the T6,
Yeah.
I've thought about it.
Yeah,
the
I was thinking
blue,
about
the
today.
blue is so bright. That's the thing. It's just like the Ewing. It's very blue, right?
Yeah.
And it really does pop. And I think with even 2 little LEDs, it looked great. But I mean, either way, the blue on the T6 really pops.
Yep.
On the T6, I noticed that the engines they almost like they'll twist and be pulled off. So I was wondering if that could be done. I ended up looking up some videos to see. Yeah, Joel
Said, cut it up.
Yeah,
Joe buys something and he's got the chainsaw. Anything.
If you don't know Joe will hack up a Hot Toys figure and
live
in a minute.
Yeah,
live on TV.
Yeah.
More and more.
He's like, zombie stormtroopers. Hold on, you know.
Yeah. We finished the last episode and he's already modifying what was it, the Death Trooper? And we
Nice.
grinding noises and everything, and I'm like, what are you doing? Hilarious. Oh man, this is cool. So where do you go hunting for your micro galaxies? Like, what stores are your go-to places that you usually find some luck?
GameStop. So the distribution system in Canada is lacking, right? So used to be GameStop, Toys R Us, and those were, and what else? GameStop, Toys R Us, and Walmart. We don't have Target up here anymore, and so those are the three. I think there's a place, Indigo Books was selling them for a while, which was really, really weird. And Canadian Tire, which is like another retail shop up here, they sell automotive parts, but they do have like a kid section. So they actually right now they have the lat, the Munilist lat actually in stock there. But it's sort of that's it. So Wave 1 came out, gangbusters. Wave 2 came out, and we got Wave 2 before you guys in the US did. And so like people were losing their minds because they're like, wow, what's going on? So like it was rich and plentiful up here. And we're like, we got all these, and we were sending them down to friends in the States, and people were coming up from Buffalo to go toy hunting and stuff. And then it became barren wasteland. Series 3, Series 4, Series 5, nothing, right? Some stuff started coming up for Series 6. And now things are starting to show up. So like Series 7, a GameStop guy asked, hey, like we got this and do you want it? And it was Kylo Ren's destroyed Whisper silencer or whatever that one is. And it's like, okay, so that means Series 7 is coming, right? And so it's starting to show up a little bit. But it's hard. It's hard. Amazon is a way to get stuff up here too, but it's not as dependable. Sometimes they just cancel orders on you. It's like I had the Ghost pre-ordered in Canada, and it was cheaper than in the States. And it was like, oh my gosh, this is great. So I pre-ordered the Ghost simply because you couldn't get it anywhere else except for Amazon. And I waited and waited and waited, and then they canceled the order on me.
Oh my god!
And I was like, you bastards! And so I ended up going to Amazon.com, and I ordered it through the States, and you had to pay a premium with the exchange rate and then the shipping. Now this is pre-tariff insanity, so shipping was free. Well, not really. You have to pay a nominal fee, and then you pay an import tax on top of that, but you get it, right? And that's the thing. It's like if I can't find it up here, I go to Amazon.com, and Amazon.com actually that has a pretty good sort of distribution of it. But it's hard collecting this line in Canada sometimes. And like I'm aware of the privilege that I get because Jazwares sends me stuff, and I have access. I have access to it, but it's not like they don't send it to me all the time, right? So I didn't get Series 5 or 6 from them, right? And so and I never expect it. It's like I'm a collector. I go out and collect it. When I do get it, it's like I just bought this.
Thank you.
I don't want to be ungrateful. It's like, I just bought this. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
You're getting a gift, right? And so, I always try to show the love to Jazwares too, because they invited me out to that March the Empire in New York last year as their guests, and I got a chance to check out the prototype for the Ghost and do and help them out with an announcement and stuff. It was like, it's cool. I got to meet a lot of the sales team, the design team, and they're awesome, right? So it's fun as a toy collector when you make that professional connection with the companies that make the toys that you collect. right? So because then
They're
you
not
feel
in
kind of
Florida,
legit.
They're
What's
down
that?
here in Florida, aren't they? Jazzwares?
They're kind of all over. So they had somebody from LA, they had somebody from Florida, yes. They also had somebody who was in on the East Coast, a little bit further north, and in New York. So it's like they all kind of work together. And like the guy that I used, my first contact, great guy by the name of Max Lux, he was based out of Pennsylvania. So it's kind of like one of those things where I'm not exactly sure. It's like don't ask, don't tell, right? It's just like it's a machine. They do their thing, and you make your connection with the people involved, and it's great. So like I got this guy named Jeremy right now. He's fantastic. He's been very, very generous, with the stuff, and I love helping them out whenever I can because it's a line that I love that I really like want to share with everybody. I think everybody should really like if you love ships, get into this line. It's a lot of fun.
And it's priced right, and it's not going to break the bank. And if you're really looking for stickers, fine, congratulations. That's going to be harder, but man, it's just nice to see the ships in your hand. Like, it's really nice.
Yeah, I'm sold by it. I mean, I'm usually the one enabling. It's usually what people have dubbed me for. But between you and Chris and Flex and Ralph, I just was like, man, I got to check these things out. And the minute I saw them in the store, I was like, okay, this shit's cool. So,
Usually these new announcements, like Special Celebration, come out like 11 or 12 o'clock at night, and I don't sleep till like 3. And as soon as I get them, George, standing there, I was like, "You're welcome." You're welcome. I can't wait till you wake up.
That's my early mornings, looking at all the posts. So, all right, man. I know it's getting late, so let's do March of the Force, and then we'll call it a night, I guess.
Nice.
So, do the final round. So have you caught any of the previous March of the Force?
His name's Paul.
Paul.
He's just an actor that's been on The Mandalorian. It's okay. All right.
He's been here for 2 hours.
No, I know he's been busy, so it's been like.
You forget to say Adachi.
All right.
March of the Force. I'm aware of it. I have not participated in it.
Okay. So we started at the beginning of the month, and it was crazy. The first week was really nuts. We had the guys from Rebel Scum Con on the show, and so it was a lot of fun. We were all here geeking out and nerding out about why this person would win, and Chris about had a heart attack trying to pick over Ahsoka and why Ahsoka was which
too technical.
Very technical.
Wow.
Overcomplicated.
So you can see all the people that lost. I was amazed that Luke and Han lost. Right.
I was amazed at that too.
Wow. Yeah, like
let's away. Let's just say it's amazing that any of us were married.
And then on this side we had Ventress and Boba Fett make it almost the whole way.
Oh my!
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
She
would they be the Mandalorian and Moff Gideon?
Paul, please, man, I love you. Please.
Wow. They beat wait. They beat Thrawn and the Emperor?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
I
voted different.
No judgment. No judgment.
I threatened to kick people
Grand
off of this
Inquisitor.
strat.
Oh my god. And Crosshair lost to
Savage and
Cad Bane.
Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of
I see that. I can see that. Cad Bane's a bastard, so yeah. And then who's that? Captain Phasma, Kylo Ren. Yeah, no, that's a slam dunk. Bye.
Yeah, that's what we said.
Yeah,
you'd be surprised at those 2 or 3 guys that just vote the other way. You're like, who are you?
Yeah. Moff Gideon, and and Vader. Yeah, pretty much. I'm surprised. I'm still very surprised that the Emperor and Thrawn lost to Asajj and Boba Fett.
It may have been
and
pressure.
I'm speaking more like honestly, Asajj, badass. Boba Fett, overrated.
Oh, we got the baseball chants out and everything, Frank. Come on.
My buddy Ernie, his screen name is the Fallen Fett, and we love to roast him on that because it's the whole like Boba Fett, like the dude had like 6 seconds of screen time and died like a punk in Return of the Jedi.
Where?
Before
Where?
it's just having lots of fun with him on that. But I'm really surprised that they got there. But I mean, if you look at Vader, I mean, it's mood anyways.
Yeah.
Vader and Moff Gideon. You got brains, you got brawn, you've got evil intentions, force powers. Okay, I can get behind that. I'm still surprised at the Emperor and Thrawn. If you're talking force powers,
They just got
and
bad intel and didn't show up to the fight on time. That's all it was.
wait, is this the clone of the Emperor or the actual Emperor?
See, this
No,
is what I was
that's
doing.
okay.
I was doing the same
There you
thing.
go. Right, which version of it?
Yeah, we started doing that. We're like, wait
Yeah.
a second, is that Asajj from? Ahsoka from the Ahsoka TV show, or is that
Right.
Ahsoka in general, or
Right.
you know, we
Yeah,
started
you
getting
can go
into
deep
it.
cuts into that.
Yeah,
Oh my god, man, I love this.
So we're
Okay.
saying that Anakin won because he had the high ground finally.
finally.
Oh wait, it was Obi-Wan and Cody against
Anakin and Rex.
Anakin and Rex.
Oh god, it's like they cancel each other out, and then it
Yeah.
becomes
Yep.
who's the who. Like, but is this Anakin dark side Anakin, or is it like Anakin's General Anakin Skywalker Jedi?
I think that's General Anakin Skywalker Jedi.
Then I can get behind that because you go,
Yeah.
okay, he's not clouded by hate or this or that, and I
Yeah,
think I get
and
that.
mind you, he saved Obi-Wan a number of times.
Yeah. Oh, I
So,
get
like,
that.
okay, I got you.
I get that, and that's why I'm like, if it's evil Anakin, then yeah, no, I don't think so. But yeah,
What about Captain
I
Rex?
can get
Is
behind.
this before Order 66 or after? He might have PTSD from almost killing Ahsoka, so I don't know. I'm thinking about that kind of thing right now.
We can't tell. I mean, it is Phase 2. We know that.
Yeah, from the helmet.
Nerds. And Dad Vader just says nerds.
That's right, Daniel. You tell him, Daniel.
Hater. He's a
And that
hater.
brings us to the final round where Anakin is facing off against his older self as Vader.
Mm-hmm.
So just to
Wow.
clear it out, this is Vader, Rogue One Vader.
Okay,
All right.
peak of his powers, Vader.
Peak of his power, not Return of the Jedi Vader.
Yeah.
And then Moff Gideon. So yes, this is it, man. We're gonna see
This
who.
is it.
And this is
Pre-armored.
Stand up.
It's pre-armored
this is not
Gideon, right?
evil Anakin. This
No.
is
No, Jedi Anakin.
Jedi Anakin. Oh my god.
Gideon, does he have the dark saber or no?
Give it to him.
Yeah,
Give it to him because all
That's
he
a
can
valid
do,
question.
all he can do with it is hack and slash. I never saw him deflecting any blaster bolts.
That's so true. No,
True.
You're right.
So-
you're right.
If it's close quarter, give him a slight advantage. Does he have his Mandalorian armor on in the jetpack? Like, is he season 3 Mandalorian?
I think that's
Moff Gideon?
season 1 Mandalorian armor.
Season 1, man?
He has a mustache
No.
in this one, right?
Yeah.
Rex.
Yeah, he's calling out Mando. Come
Okay.
on out. I think that's
Okay.
him.
Then Rex.
Right, so
I give the edge to Rex.
Same.
I get the-
Why?
So
the
if y'all
veteran.
are just tuning in, there is leave no doubt to Paul's fandom.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, you guys ready?
Get in your chat and be ready to vote. There's 78 of you. Come on, people.
You got
Go,
the
go,
time?
go.
Got the timer
Yep,
going?
time
You
is
got the
ready.
timer ready,
Time is
Frankie?
ready for
All
it.
right.
Yep, time
All
is
right.
ready.
All
Let's
right.
go.
I am going to go now. You got that, Frankie?
Like
Just make
now,
sure-
now,
Now.
or then
Yeah.
now.
Not then. Now. Soon.
When's now?
Oh, it's a tight score. It's 50-50
Oh,
with 14
50-50.
votes.
50.
Oh. 16 votes in. Come on, people. 18 votes in. 19.
Wow. Wow.
Dang, Anakin's taking it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you look at him because he's like whole. Vader's he's got no legs, no arms. He's got a
Padme.
breathing apparatus. You saw
No
how
Padme.
Obi-Wan took him, like in the Obi-Wan series, even right?
Right.
Like he's severely he's got a handicap because like you screw up his breathing apparatus,
That's it.
he's messed up. Yeah, he's got
True.
anger, but like he gasses himself so easily in those, right?
So
Like
true.
end of Rogue One, like
10 seconds.
to make it sort of make sense as it leads into episode 4 is like, why is he not like so superpowers? Because he's gassed, man.
Yeah.
He just killed like 50 dudes,
That's time.
cut through a
Time.
bunch of doors.
That's it, man.
Fake news.
That was a great scene. And yeah, he was a little gassed.
I didn't think
Anakin.
about it like that. He was gassed out.
Anakin
That's why he
took it.
was-
And Rex. Well, is it necessarily Anakin? It could have been Rex that had a deciding
Well, he
factor
helped.
in it.
He got the assist. Both showed.
Yeah. Yeah. He easily took down Moff Gideon. Rex did.
Easily.
Hell
I
yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
So that was a handicap too, 2 versus 1. Plus
Yeah.
Vader doesn't have any legs.
Shoot him in the legs.
I really expected that to be closer.
I
Sweep
thought it
the
was gonna be a
leg.
lot closer too.
I'm
Sweet
disappointed
leg.
in the chat. Disappointed in the chat because I love Darth Vader. Vader's my dude. I like Anakin too.
Now you know how it feels.
What? Because Boba Fett sucks.
See? And Eben's gone. Oh,
Oh no.
Hold on a second. Got this all mixed up. There we go. All right. That was fun.
That's
I really
a
expected it to be closer. Honestly.
I'm like speechless.
says
That was
question
like
is
Wilson
does
Super
Rex
Bowl.
live in that fight?
He's dead. Rex is dead. He's dead.
Yeah, how would that gone, right? They would I think Moff would have been the first one to fall.
Hell
Yeah.
He wouldn't have showed up.
Yeah.
Well,
I
I
Gideon,
think Vader would have caught Rex.
I don't know if you want to get technical. He probably has best car armor. Rex
There we go.
lasers would not have done anything to him. So
Sure, if he
Anakin
shoots
would
him in
have
the
to kill-
face.
Vader would have to kill Rex.
At the end, it's just the 2 Anakins, you know, a good side and a bad side of them, and we know Anakin good side won.
True. True.
I don't know why I just get a Dumb and Dumber reference from that.
Hey Paul,
Paul right now,
so
he goes,
were there
"Push me
conversations like this on set?
Regarding who would win in what kind of battle?
Just anything to this level? Would you guys have discussions like this? Just playing around on set?
No.
No.
The nerdiest it did get though was, and this was my I was still relatively new, and we're shooting that scene. Peyton Reed was directing the episode, and we're shooting the scene in the ice cave where we're saving the Mando.
Yeah.
And it's the same X-wing that we're basically we just repurposed the cockpit and shoot from different angles, and so like Filoni's in it while they were shooting his coverage, and then he leaves and I get up and then they shoot my coverage. Same thing, same ship. But listening to the two of them nerd out about episode 4, the final Death Star run with all the pilots, because all the pilots were great, but they're British actors, right? Because they shot in the UK. But they dubbed over all the voices with American voices. And so those aren't their voices when you hear them sort of talking, like they're actually all Brits and they're not their voices. But the voices that they used were DJs from America. So it's like it was great. They were taking the piss out of like Stay on Target, like all this stuff. And it's like, I'm sitting there like a total like fly in the wall, loving these guys at peak nerddom sort of going on about this. And I didn't know that. I didn't know that they.
I didn't know that either.
I didn't know either. We just found out.
I know they
now.
redubbed them, but I didn't know they were DJs.
Yeah. So stuff like that. And also that day was also the 20th anniversary of Peyton's movie, Bring It On. Which I don't know. It's the cheerleader movie.
Yeah, the cheerleader movie.
Yeah.
Abby Union and stuff.
That was the thing. And so I thought, oh, that's so cool. I'm working with the guy that made Bring It On. Yes. Right. So it was fun.
Are you guys? These.
You've seen that movie way too much.
I just saw it before we got on.
Brought it.
Right? And then Peyton, he had directed Ant-Man as well, right? So he's it's this really weird thing where you just, again, I'm overwhelmed by the level of talent, or like the projects that people have worked on are so like I've seen that. That's huge.
Gosh.
Like these are all huge things. And I think the biggest thing I'd ever been in before then was like I was in a Disney film called Ice Princess. And that was the biggest thing for me, right? Like in terms of scale.
Yeah.
So you kind of go, oh damn. Okay. Like, I'm in the big leagues now. Right.
That's
this
different.
is like everything. I mean, the job is basically the same. The scale is different.
Right.
When you're acting, but then, you're on a set where like it's triple the amount of crew that you're used to. Right. The production values are like millions, hundreds of millions above what you're used to. You know, I'm used to shooting more modestly budgeted shows in Canada, Canadian shows, right? Like you kind of go, and it's like when you're suddenly there and you're surrounded by all this, you're like, oh,
Yeah, had to be
Fooled them.
different. Yeah, I fooled them. Like we were watching. I live in Florida. We were watching Mr. Kim's convenience store, and then we see you on. They're like, "Oh my God, that's Mr. Kim.
yeah,
He's in the Mandalorian." What the
right?
And I'm like thinking about now that we have conversations with you and you're on the show. I'm like, that must have been just a huge wake up call. Like, holy shit, like, oh my, especially that you're a fan. You had all the toys. You played with the toys. You know the toys. You're a toy collector. You're like, I'm in freaking heaven, bro. And you're bumping elbows with John and Dave, and you get to, hey, there goes Bryce Howard. You're like, what?
Yeah. And here's the thing, like,
Katie,
I wasn't allowed to talk about it.
Yeah, you're like, don't say anything under contract and legal action. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm sitting there going, oh my God, I just had the experience of a lifetime and I can tell nobody.
Yeah. You're like, how was work today, honey? I can't tell you anything.
You're looking
holy
shit. You got to stay in your mind, not being able to say a word.
Yeah.
So it was hard. And then the thing is, it feels like forever. And it goes on and on and on. And like, I finished filming in February 2020.
Wow.
What happened in March?
Yeah.
The world shut down.
COVID. Yeah.
Because of
I
COVID.
started
It's
working
like,
from home.
Yeah.
right? It was like, oh my God. And so like there's that. And you're like, fuck. Just trying to get through that. And months go on, and on and on. And then, I was shooting Kim's at the same time, and like we were supposed to start, but they pulled they called a force majeure just because the pandemic shut everything down. So it's like, we're not going. We have to delay it. So it's like, okay. So there's no work. And you're waiting and you're waiting. And that's when I started my YouTube channel and all this stuff. And then, back to work, trying to get back to normal, all these protocols in place. And then they start airing season 2 of The Mandalorian. And it felt like years had gone by. I was like, oh yeah, I did that.
Oh,
God.
wow.
But then having to wait 4 freaking episodes, or was it 4? Yeah, because I wasn't in the first episode. It's like I had to wait for my episode to air even. And so, we're living in the East Coast. So like, they air like, midnight
4
West
a.m.
Coast is like 3 a.m. And it's like,
Yeah.
so you stay up to watch it. And it's like, I have no idea how it's going to look. Is it going to suck? Am I going to suck? Like, what? I don't know. It's just watching it and like seeing myself and like freaking out and going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Thinking, okay, I didn't hate it. I didn't hate me. Like the episode I loved, I didn't hate me. I thought, that's cool. And I went to bed because I was exhausted. And my phone blew up at like 4 o'clock in the morning because like people in the West Coast, friends of mine had seen it. And, oh my fucking God, is that you? And then it just started going and going and going. And then showing up to work the next day on Kim's, and like they printed out pictures of me, and they called me the Appalorian, and like everybody was using the right? So
that's a great handle right there, the Appalorian.
So it was really like mind blowing that experience.
I was going to ask,
but it
how do
still
you tell
felt
friends and family?
What's that?
I was going to ask how you tell friends and family. How do they find out? But so they just find out like we do.
Yeah, I mean, friends, absolutely. I mean, I can't. I don't want to lose my job, right?
Right.
Family, like I had to tell my wife where I was going and my kids, right? So it's like, Daddy's going to work. I'm going to be in Los Angeles. I'm going to be shooting a Star Wars, and like, oh, okay. And they were young at the time, so like they weren't like, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like there was none of that. It's like, Daddy's going to be in Star Wars, and I said, you can't tell anybody. And like, okay, and they promptly forgot, right? Like no fucks given. Like Dad's gone, and it's like, okay, let's play some video games, and they're in another world, right? Like that's a thing. And my wife was super supportive, and like in fact, she was the only one I could sort of talk to about. And God love her. I mean, she likes Star Wars, but is not like deep cut Star Wars nerd.
Yeah.
So like I'm going blah blah blah, and there's this and this and this, and she's like,
glass-eyed.
Yeah, it's like, that's nice, dear. You had a good time. Oh, that's very sweet. I'm glad you had a good time. Like, no, but you don't understand. This means this, and then that, and this, and this. She's like, none of that like I don't understand any of that. I'm like, oh my god,
That's awesome.
I'm so happy you had a good day today, honey.
yeah,
You know,
Just
there's
nod
dinner.
nod your head and say,
Cool.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is all of our conversations with our wives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, get off that cloud. You're back on 5.
right.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that your wife is doing the same thing that our wives do to us. It's like, how did that box arrive at the front door?
Oh yeah,
It happens to you, so it happens, and we hear it all the time. So we're like, it happens to Paul. Come on, so it just arrived. They gave it to me.
and that's the thing. I always say I didn't ask. No, they just sent it.
Yeah,
They sent it to me. Like, for real. It's like I'm like no. I'm being absolutely 100%. If I ordered it, I will fess up. I go, yeah, I ordered it. I
I had
did.
to prove.
I ordered like 5 years ago and it just arrived.
yeah.
Right?
Yep, it's on pre-order.
George legit
Yeah.
had some hot toys. He's still waiting for
It's
for
on
size.
pre-order for 2
Yeah.
years.
Sideshow. But then when they come in like fucking like
Boom, 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 boom.
yeah, it's like a waterfall.
Yeah.
And she's like, what are you
Yeah.
doing? Are you crazy? I said, I show her. It's like 2022.
Yeah.
2022. Yes, I pre-ordered them all at the same time,
Yeah.
but I thought they would spread out. And now it was just like, here they all are. And so now suddenly you got 5 or 6 showing up at
Wow.
your doorstep. And you're like, pre-orders, baby. It was during the pandemic. Right?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
I show all the
Surprise.
messages. I'm like, no. Look.
Yeah.
Look. This is from this. Nope.
Yeah. And this money was spent years ago. So
Yeah. And I didn't touch the rent money or the,
Right?
the
That
mortgage
makes it better.
money. I'm sorry.
this,
Is it?
this money was spent years ago and you didn't miss it then.
Yeah.
So you're not going to
That's
miss
why
it
I
now
missed it
because I
now.
didn't spend anything on it. So,
Yeah.
2023 funds. It's expired already, anyways.
right.
Yeah. I wanted
And
it a waffle.
you're killing it on Avatar as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely love that. It's
Looking
great.
forward to
Me and my daughters, we watched the cartoon, and so now
Okay.
getting to watch it in live action. So
Yeah.
she's loving it.
The
and she's
anime?
like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we watched it. Sorry, the anime. Yes, sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Put
But yeah,
respect on it.
you're killing your role. So I appreciate
Thank you.
And the beard
Thank you.
game, even somebody put it in the chat. The beard game is super strong. I mean, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I literally shaved before the show. And my wife's like, "Who are you shaving for?" I'm like, "Paul's gonna be on, bro. You got to represent with your beard
Thank
game,
you.
man.
This is
is-
for work.
That
It's-
looks
it's
beautiful, man.
yeah, thank you. It's driving me crazy though.
You
driving
look
me
like
absolutely
you're gonna
crazy.
be in like the Last Samurai Part 2 with Tom Cruise or
Uh,
something. So that beard game is strong.
thank you.
It is strong.
Thank you. Well,
Great.
season 1, because I was finishing off Mandalorian, actually, my beard was shorter, right?
Yeah.
Carson Teva he has a beard, but it's neatly
Tighter.
trimmed and it's tight. Yeah. And so going from that to Avatar, because Iroh's beard in season 1 is like next level, they had to actually the makeup department, run by one of the head of makeup, Rita, was she had to put inlaid hair and glue it on
Oh
top
my god.
of my mustache and my beard, and it was a very long and itchy and hot process. So they had extensions that they built, like that they build, and they were like beautifully woven and then applied, and that shit would only have a shelf life of like 4 hours, and it would start to melt, and they'd have to reattach things, and it was itchy and hot, and then the wig on top of all that too, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was a process of not only getting it on, which took 2 hours, but taking it off was so, because like now you're trying to remove
And it's
all
in
the
your
glue
hair.
that they're putting in, right? And so it was just like a process that I really did not want to repeat for season 2. So as soon as we got the announcement that, okay, we're going for season 2 and 3, I was like, I'm growing it out.
Yes.
I'm not gonna, this is good. Because by the end of season 1, my beard had grown enough that we started removing pieces, and it was almost all me by the end of
Nice.
season 1, right? Yeah, like from the mustache and everything. So that was great. I was like, okay. And so I thought season 2, I'm just gonna grow it out. And so that's it. The only caveat to that is, while it looks great on camera, and I can skip that process, I have to live with this 24/7, and it itches, and it's like I'm not used to having my beard this big, and I feel super old with it too, right? Because it's all white now, right? And it's just like, if I'm not careful, I can look like a bum, and it's like it's this weird sort of. I kind of it's like pick your poison type thing, right? Do you suffer in the makeup chair and just get that done, or do you grow it out and live with this, right? And so I don't know. The grass is always greener. But I'm getting lots of compliments on the beard, so I appreciate that. But
I wish I had your beard.
Me too.
I mean, I'm about the same age as you. I was May 1973. But so we're pretty close, and Frankie's slightly older than me, so we're about the same age. But
Why,
man,
dude?
I can't
Why?
pull because, bro. Because
Why
you told me I
would
cheat.
necessary?
Frankie tells me I cheat at Star Wars Jeopardy just because I beat him. So that's why.
See those marks on the back of Frankie's shirt?
Yeah,
Right.
same.
Those are your handprints pushing him under the bus.
Yeah. Tell him, Paul. Tell him, Paul.
Beep 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 beep. But I wish I could pull a beard like that. It just that's big props.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Hey,
I can't wait to shave it down though.
Listen, you should do that live on stream. That's content right
my
there.
God, that'd be great. I like the length here, like
Yeah.
on the front. It's the sides that drive me crazy.
Yeah, it's a chop. Yeah,
Because that's what tickles. They
it gets
comes
itchy.
down.
Yeah,
Yeah, and so that's about it. But I kind of like because it makes me look thinner.
yeah.
So
Well, I
I'll take
appreciate
that.
the sacrifice because the role you're doing great on that role. And
Yeah.
the costumes, everybody, the whole cast is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks,
That's
Frank.
amazing.
Thank you. I'll pass that along. We're excited. Season 2
I am too.
is done. Season 3, we're gonna start up fairly soonish.
Yes.
We're on a bit of a hiatus right now, a bit of a break, and I just can't wait to finish telling this story. And it's that process of now they're gonna need to edit and do all the VFX and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So it's gonna take a little bit of time. These shows take a little bit of time to do, and that's the same thing with Mandalorian.
Yep.
You shoot it, and it takes months, and it in my mind, because I'm so excited because I want to see it, see what it's like, but then it takes so long that you forget almost that you did it, and life gets in the way, and you do other shows and you do other things, and suddenly it's like, oh my God, it's coming out.
Yeah.
Right. So
And they release it one show per week, which I'm really happy they're not doing with Andor. Andor, they're
Right.
dropping 3 episodes at a time, which is
Yeah.
okay. I could get behind that.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Avatar they drop it all at once, right? Or is it which version?
Avatar, it's Netflix. Yeah,
Avatar's all one. Netflix, they have that model where it's just like, nope, you choose when you want to watch it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. And then it turns into a huge binge fest because there's so
Yeah.
many people who want to do breakdowns and first reactions and this and that. So
Yeah.
everybody's like, or they're consuming it really fast so it doesn't get spoiled for
Mhm.
them, right?
That's the
it's
main
one of
reason
those
for
things.
me. Yep.
That's
Yeah,
the main reason
it's,
for me,
and
yeah.
it's. I'm happy that Andor's doing that too. I'm happy that they've because every 3 episodes is 1 year.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Right.
you get 1 year per week, but you only get 4 weeks. So that's the other thing. You only get 4 weeks and then it's done.
Yeah.
Which on one hand is great, on the other hand is like And if you're doing a recap show, good luck, because you
Yeah.
got 3 hours of content to watch,
Yeah.
break down, and analyze per week. I mean, I'm part of a group called the Boba Squadron, and we do recaps and stuff. And this is going to be a logistical nightmare to get everybody on board because we got 2 people on the West Coast, 2 people on the East Coast. What night are we going to do it?
Yeah.
Who's going to what kind of breakdowns are we going to do for that? It's just it's a lot. It's
Yeah.
really dense. And so it's the whole, I said, you know what, let's wait and let's do a reaction video. We'll all watch it together. We'll do a watch party and then react to it. We can, edit that together and then release it instead,
That'd be
right?
cool.
Because it's one of those things. But, the detailed analysis, 1 episode at a time is great, but 3 is a lot.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot.
Deep dive all that. This is gonna be kind of like watching a movie once per week. Is pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I
exactly
like
what
that.
it is.
I like
Especially
that.
with
But we've been clamoring for this because sometimes
Yeah.
the episodes are 30 minutes,
Yeah.
29
Well,
minutes,
Andor never had-
45 minutes, and you're like, no, make him consistent. So that I'm happy about it. I'm just looking forward to it, especially that it's Rogue. Leading up into Rogue One.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the last shot of the season is supposed to lead right into the first shot. Of
Yeah.
Rogue One.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, I can't
right.
wait for that.
So
What I'm hearing.
That's gonna be-
Yeah.
Hey, Paul, I have a question for you, if you don't mind.
yeah,
Between Mandalorian and Ahsoka, what has been to date your favorite line?
oh
delivered?
gosh. I mean, I got to say the thing that all X-wing pilots want to say, which is lock S-foils in attack position.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's just something about being able to say that, to
Yeah.
give that command, because that means You're squad leader. You know,
Yeah.
lock as full as an attack position. Let's go. And that's like, it's go time. I love that. They actually cut another line that I got, which was like just added to peak nerddom. And it was like armed proton torpedoes. Right. So lock as full as an attack position and armed proton torpedoes. And that was just like, ha ha ha. That was great. So just from a nostalgic point of view, there's that. Right.
Were you able to get that in one take, or were you smiling too much the first time you said?
Oh my God! I will admit, I want to screw that line up. Like it means a lot to be able to say that, and so you get excited. There's another one, season 3. Actually, there's a great monologue, a speech that he has in Colonel Tuttle's office that they actually used in the trailer, which I loved. Right. And it's like, you know, there's something happening out there.
OMG. Right? Are you kidding me now, Paul? Look what I had.
What's that?
There's something dangerous happening out there. All these
events. He had it.
And by the time it becomes big enough for you to act, it'll be too late.
Yeah. And that's my, like, I love that moment there because
me too.
He's so frustrated. And he's just so upset, and he's just trying to keep it
just
control.
in case. And that's my favorite line. Wow.
Question for you, Paul. You know, you're in the show, you're doing your thing, then you find out that you're going to interact with R5D4. You have a connection now to the original trilogy, and this guy has been part of the Rebel Alliance all along, and he's been serving. How was that as an actor that you're like, yo, that little droid, the one that I had in my pocket, really him? I mean, how mind blowing was that?
I loved it. I mean, that was such an amazing callback, and I love that it's an expansion on a character that was a bit of a throwaway. You know, if you're just going by the movies, it's like this one's got a bad motivator, and you know, it's like that's the last you see of him. And they expanded on him in the comic books because there's a comic book storyline where R2 convinces him and says, this is like of utmost importance to the rebellion.
Yeah.
You can't go there. So he blows his own motivator so that R2 can go. I love that too. But the whole idea that he worked with Carson Teva during the rebellion tickles me pink. Like it delights me to no end to have that. But then that's the peak nerddom for me because they keep writing things where I have connections to so many different characters, from Chopper to Zeb to Harrison Dula, to C-3PO.
We were our jaws dropped when you were with Zeb, and then when you were standing next to C-3PO and it was Anthony Daniels doing the voice and everything, and you're like,
he was in the suit,
bro.
dude.
It was crazy.
I just got chills thinking about all that just now.
I mean, you got connections, deep cut connections, you know.
That's the thing. It's like, oh my God, what the hell? That's not bad for originally I was in 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, we're gonna put you in an X-Wing pilot suit. All right.
There you go.
Don't worry about it.
And people are like, oh, it's a cameo. I want to discount that. It's not a cameo. A cameo is the camera goes by and they go, oh, do you know this guy? And then that's it. I had lines, I had scenes. My character did stuff. There you go. Yeah.
There you go.
Right?
John, hold on. Relax.
Oh, it's a Mandalorian. Hey, pal.
Yeah. Because Chopper killed somebody. Literally.
He killed so many people.
Yes, he was.
Right? And no fucks given. It's like, bye.
No, none. None.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Are you going to be at any events this coming year?
You know what? Shows? Yeah, last year was a great con year for me. I went to, GalaxyCon is a wonderful organization. I did Raleigh, North Carolina. I did Richmond. I was supposed to do Columbus, Ohio, but work got in the way, and it was so I had to bail from that. I did LA Comic Con, Phoenix Fan Fusion. I did Motor City Comic Con. All it was a great year for cons. Sadly, this year I'm just so slammed with Avatar. There's another show called Murdoch Mysteries. So it's just too much to sort of. We're gonna see where we can slot in. And so I think the only one on the slate right now, and it's a very small con, it's in Indianapolis, PopCon in Indianapolis. Gonna be there for the weekend, schedule permitting. We're like that's the only one, and I think that's the end of June. PopCon in Indianapolis. I'd love to add more. to it. Obviously,
Yeah.
we would have loved to have gone to Celebration as a guest,
Oh,
but you know, it's not in the books. But yeah, it's all those different things. But I think 2026 is going to be a big year because that'll be a time to sort of get all the sort of bucket list things. Like I'd love to go to New York Comic Con, right? SDCC. I'd love to do that. I'd love to go back to Phoenix. Fan Fusion, if you've never been there, that's LA Comic Con, same thing. Yeah, and there's a lot all the fan expos, but I'm kind of beefing with Fan Expo right now. So it's like this whole, and they have a lot of cons, but especially in Canada, there's Comic Cons up in Canada, to Montreal, Winnipeg, Winnipeg, and is it Quebec City has one as well? Yeah, but and Ottawa, but it's one of those things where the sky's the limit, and the time that's all it is. 2026 right now is kind of a clear slate, so to be able to go out there and reconnect with everybody is going to be a lot of fun.
that's awesome.
Cool.
Can't wait to see you out there. I
Yeah.
know a lot of fans have your signatures and a lot more need them. So, you know, especially now that you got a carded figure coming
Yeah.
out. You know, you're gonna, can you sign this one? Can you sign this one? Pictures, please.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
We're all hitting up Rebel ScumCon this year because most of us can't go to Star Wars Celebration either.
Right.
with the exception of Chris. Not throwing any hate at you, but I mean,
I hate, yeah, no hate. Just maybe a little bit, Chris. Come on, man.
it's the
You must
closest
be
we're gonna
offering
get
free
to
bubble
a
baths.
Star Wars Celebration stateside. You know, at least until they announce that they're coming back to Orlando, hopefully.
Right.
That's what we're hoping for.
Or Vegas.
Yeah.
Pays me a ton of money.
Yeah.
And you got a Death Star.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
I said
you got a
potential
Death Star right
Star.
there.
That's a great
We got a
opportunity
Death
to-
Star in Orlando. It's called Epcot. You just light that sucker up, you know?
But we'll let you know how it is, and maybe next year, you know, you can make some time, or if you're able to go, maybe we'll all meet up in Texas at some point.
Yeah, I'll leave Paul alone because I need Avatar finished.
Yes. Absolutely. Well, I mean, it's about that time. We this is honestly the longest we've ever gone live.
Yes,
Oh wow.
yeah, it is.
But it's been a good show.
New record. New
Yeah.
record.
All right.
No, your last live stream, I think, was like 4 hours. I watched the whole thing at work. I started to watch it live, and then I mean, I shouldn't have probably said that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nobody from work's watching. It's fine.
Nobody from work's watching. No, Seth.
It's the one day.
It's
Yeah,
the
right.
one day.
But
Hey
Paul,
guys,
man, thanks
watch
for
me. I'm
coming
going to
on.
have Paul on tonight. How about
Yeah.
Oh, it's been an awesome show, man. As always, thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks
Thank
for
you.
having me, man. I love being on this show. It's just a bunch of friends chatting and nerding out, and I love that. Who doesn't, right? So, and the
Yeah.
chat is amazing. Just listening, reading some of the comments and the banter back and forth is awesome. So keep building this community. You got a good thing going. You guys are great friends, great collectors. Your hearts are in the right place. You're doing all the right things, and it's an absolute pleasure to be here. So thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you for that.
Thanks for coming.
Yes, sir. Everybody in the
Let's do
chat.
it
I hope-
again next week. No, I'm
You-
kidding.
I thought he wasn't going to
Hey,
come
Patsy
because of
player.
the Blue Jays today. So I was like, oh man, I
We-
hope he makes it.
You guys are lucky. We ended up leaving the game hard. So it was like, I got a live stream to go to. Let's go. So we left. It was 9-2 after the set. I always stayed till after the seventh inning stretch to
Yeah.
see what they can do. They were down 9-2. Bottom of the seventh, they did nothing, and it was just like, let's go. So we left just to beat the crowd. And I knew, like, my son actually he has baseball practice on Thursday nights, catcher practice. So I wanted to get him home for that, and then I also wanted to get here to prep for you guys and
Well,
make sure
thanks for
that you
showing
on
up.
time. So
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Well, everybody in the chat, hope you had a great time and a good weekend. So until next time, may the force be with you. See ya.